Do you have Zoom?
Mm-hmm.
Open Zoom and I'll just give you the code.
Well, hold on, let me see. Yeah, I have Zoom. Oh, let's make me
That's an
download it.
APK. It's
Oh.
yeah, you can cancel it. Yeah. It's like directly off of the website, internet versus from the Play Store.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I made it.
Huh? Did you?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Hello.
Hey.
Did you hear from Juice? I didn't hear anything. Juice didn't reply on the comments. I saw Nikki reply. Ready for the just join meeting, go to jail. 828 8, all numbers. 264 6816.
Oh, I gotta get my headphones.
What the hell? You're gonna have to come and redo it. It didn't work. We went to another Zoom app or some crazy shit. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your announcements.
Oh. It didn't do it before. Oh, now it did.
Yeah, see, went straight in.
Mm-hmm. I don't like this lipstick. This one. Henrietta Hippo. What's wrong?
Nothing. I'm just laughing at what you said.
Well, you know, you see someone on camera. No.
Still laughing at your comment.
Henrietta Hippo.
Because, like
Remember
I said,
her? Henrietta Hippo?
It's a hungry hippos.
Henrietta Hippo.
Just laughing because, like you said, you definitely be looking different on camera. Because I be thinking, I'm like straight and then I look on the camera, like, damn, I look rough as fuck. And I'm like, I just shake myself up. I'm still looking rough.
So you don't want your double chin to show and all that. Earphones. Now can she see me?
No, because you're doing a video preview. You haven't joined yet.
Oh, so when I do, okay, that's fine. Let Look, he gets to see
I
all that.
know. I
So,
was trying to see if you can come over some more. So I got a little bit more room. You know what I'm saying? As far as space,
mhm.
got plenty of space for you to lean over, come over some. I know from the future to extend it all the way over. I'll put another hook up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm bringing the light out. Better. I don't see as much behind you.
You got the front light too, so that's good.
You know what?
The front light, light in front of you.
Yeah.
I gotta work on. I didn't put last podcast on YouTube. I gotta put a couple up on there. You see my glasses, bro?
Yeah.
You need some glasses on the bed?
Yeah, they were right here. Oh. They're right there. You moved them.
Oh shit.
Thank you. So you said, if I put these on, so now if I join, I'll be in there, right? I said I wanted to please say hi.
Well, yeah, definitely. Nobody's here yet. It's just us. We do try to come 15 minutes early.
Okay.
Go ahead, click in. I didn't know I need my paper, my bag. You need my exam anxiety. I'm starting to sweat already.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
Now she looks like Orion. No, Ryan looks like her. I used to think he looked like you. He looks like his mama.
She did all the work. That's why.
Hmm?
She did all the work. That's why.
Of course, right? That's my son looks just like me too. He just like y'all, like his daddy. I'm like, I just spit him out. He looks like me, but he is light like y'all.
Well, I'm glad you got your internet back in order.
Me too.
Did it affect your work? Did it affect work?
I don't work. I don't work today.
Yeah, I'm tripping. I know last time it did. I know last time you had to take some time, some personal time.
Okay. my supervisor gonna hit me up talking about, we have to communicate. We have to communicate. I said, what happened? And she put like these angry face emoji. Like, first of all, lady, you're a supervisor. Don't be throwing up emojis at me. Hold your feelings tight. And she sends me the like heads about to explode emoji.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm not gonna do this texting thing with you because I got some emojis I could throw up too. I speak fluent emoji. So I said, boss lady, what's going on? What's up with the emoji? I said, what's going on? She said, Marie, you said internet service. Scope says your internet's been up since 2:35. It's now after 4. And I walk over to my modem. I said, I don't give a damn what Scope says. I already told you, I say it in chat. It's like the worst boyfriend ever. He lies. If he says it's not online, it's a tug of war and an argument. So I was like, screenshot, screenshot, screenshot. That's why I sent you the screenshot, because I had to screenshot everything for that heifer. And so something else happened. I said, do you need a screenshot? She goes, no, you're good. I said, let me tell you something. I don't have time to play games. I work from home. If I want the day off, I pick up the phone and I call in. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you about no internet being out. Call in.
Is she older than you or younger?
Yeah, I'm an old goat.
I am too, but I know sometimes the young bosses think they have to,
She-
say things like that. So
Not that much younger than me. But she thought I was younger than her. When I told her I was a dinosaur, she's like, what do you mean by that? I said, I'm half a century old, more than half a century old. She was like, oh, I thought you were younger than that. I said, how am I gonna be 35 with a 24-year-old daughter? Come on now. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, girl.
you age well.
Yeah, so I'm like, no, thank you. I got good bloodlines. I don't know. She's gonna mess around and make me take time off until my surgery, and then what? Then what?
What?
How is Andrea showing mute on my end, but I can hear her?
I know. I see mute on her end on her.
That's odd.
Because
No,
I'm right here.
because Keith is right next to me.
Okay, now it makes sense. I was like, wait a minute, something's not adding up for me right now.
I'm magic.
I didn't even know. Nice to meet you.
Hi.
I didn't even notice the background.
Well, I don't have the background. He does. I was gonna go downstairs, but he's like, no, stay here. But I was gonna go in another room, so I didn't hear the feedback and stuff.
Where's MJ?
Don't know. But we can't be in different rooms because we smoke together. And I don't know how that's gonna work. I'm not getting up and going downstairs when it's my turn to pass her the blunt. That's too much work.
Okay, that's behind the scenes.
So is our audio a problem right now? Can you hear us both fine with her
Yes.
with her mic being muted?
Yeah.
Cool. Now answer my. Now I'm gonna try my headphones and then I want to hear the same. Ask that question again. Testes, 1 2. Testes, 1 2.
What?
Say something, Andrea.
What am I say?
Can you hear her?
Yeah.
No, I can't hear them though.
You can't hear me?
Over there.
Excuse me. I'm not a Zoom guru.
Now she's echoing.
She's echoing.
So are you.
Okay. So
Not on my end though.
not on your end.
No.
Wow. So can you still hear them?
Yeah,
Now
I
the
can hear
echo's there. Now I hear it.
You hear echo now?
Yes. Now I really hear it.
Wow, that's crazy because I cut off her microphone. Interesting.
What about now?
What about now?
Nope, it's
Now
good
they
now.
might not even be able to hear me.
Would you do?
I can hear it. Yeah, it's good.
I'm muted,
You mute it?
but then I can't hear them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this might not work. Well, I kind of want to be in the background anyway, so.
What about now?
Echo.
Yeah. I can hear it.
I hear the
Yeah,
echo.
I heard it too. Let me see. Hello. Interesting. Me and Mac was sitting right next to each other, and this didn't give us an issue.
Well, I think it wasn't it muted because one time you were muted and they could still hear you talking. And I'm like, why do we hear you talking? Okay.
What about now?
If I talk now,
I can hear.
You can hear?
And clearly, no echo.
No
no
echo?
echo.
All right, we'll use her microphone.
Yeah, I just kind of want to be in the background. So
Well, you can cut your camera off whenever you want. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying?
what shows up just to like a screen? I want a picture like Nikki. She has a really nice picture.
My
No,
I love
the
my
picture when
background.
you first came on before you popped in, there was a really nice picture up before that.
Oh, gotcha.
Like
Yeah.
your symbol. Whoa, not like that.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
Change your profile picture, and that'll be what it's displayed.
Go to my what?
Zoom.
We should have did this earlier because I don't want to hold up anyone.
What do you have up there now?
I don't know. Maybe my regular picture.
That's just gonna show up.
That's fine.
All right. Yeah, that's still short.
If I go out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do?
Anybody heard from Juice?
I don't have my phone in here with me, so I don't know if he's even tried to get a hold of me.
I get back.
Can you set for record?
Yeah, sorry about that.
When I get back.
Zoom icon.
You should really change that picture. Like you're
doing?
gonna go rob a bank.
We're done doing the COVID times.
Malka, were you talking or were you?
I'm over here singing. I had to put myself on mute.
Okay. Well, I wanted to make sure it wasn't me. Like.
Oh no, he don't like the music. He says my music is always loud, so I just put it on mute.
Oh, I thought it was introductory music. Sounded okay.
Of course my music is okay. Soulful Sunday.
Uh-oh. I don't know what she said.
She said Soulful Sunday.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw her face, so.
Oh, because I responded like that. That's what I call my lives on Sunday, Soulful Sunday.
Gotcha. Okay.
So when she said that, it triggered me. I was like, oh.
I was Soulful Sunday on tag before I met you. I got a seductive Saturday / Soulful Sunday.
Get it, girl. Do you boo? 100.
What's up, oh? Let me see that shirt. Yeah, I like that. I can't do the white though. I can't do the white, but any other color, I fucks with that. 1126 North High Street, Lansing, Michigan, 48690. There you go. You got my zip code, address, and all that. I should be in the mail Monday, right?
48906.
I'll cash up you something. I see that if you don't go live soon, it like kicks out. You know what I'm saying? Because I've set it up twice. And if you don't do it in a timely fashion, it just times out.
Gotcha.
Has anybody heard from Juice today?
Earlier.
It's 5 minutes after. I want to be on CP time.
CP time. What is CP time?
I ain't got no cards and no script.
I thought I was a go with the flow thing.
It's gonna have to be because I didn't even think this shit was gonna happen.
Why?
I didn't have internet.
Oh, that's right.
What was going on? Everybody was kind of like up in the air. Didn't know. Called a meeting. Nobody came. I was like,
Asked me to get on, and I worked last night, and I haven't slept yet, so I'm on 24 hours of no sleep. So, oh,
ooh, I like that picture.
oh, that is nice.
Did you paint that, Omar? Unmute your mic.
Yeah, I was just saying I'm in progress right now. I'm trying to complete it for the holidays. Somebody's about to have a get together, and it's a commission piece. So
Right. So are you the one that says good morning to me every day?
yeah, that's me.
Good to meet you.
Likewise.
Like you're the only person that really fucking responds. I'm like, I said good morning, people.
It just I teach social media marketing. It just takes a while. You know what I mean? Like consistency is the key. And then, just keep the energy. Just keep the energy going. Eventually it'll pick up. One day you'll wake up and you'll be like, damn, everything just seems like it's in sync. And I just want to say, really before we get started, I've been, basically kind of like following the journey since the beginning. And I just want to tell you, I'm proud of especially you two queens that's been on consistent. Man, I love the energy. Y'all definitely the world need to see more. And I think like with consistency, we'll get there. And I'm gonna figure out how I can play a role in, bringing all of this together. Of course, Keith speak highly of everybody. And he see major potential in what's going on. So peace and light. I'm proud of y'all. Keep doing your thing.
Yes, and I'm glad that Mocha made it on because he said she might not get on. I said, I hope she does.
Yeah, Mocha. It'd be crazy. It wouldn't feel right if you did.
It wouldn't. It really wouldn't. I got a pit like a ball in the pit of my stomach when I thought Mocha's not going to be here. That doesn't feel right for me.
I've never been on it, but I hear her all the time talking. So
Right.
That's not a good thing. I hear her all the time. Sound like my mother. If I can hear you from the other room, you too loud.
No, that's good. You keep the party going.
Yeah. So it all balances out at the end of the day.
Juice is the life of the party. That's what we wait on.
Well, I listen to the podcast. I don't watch them. I listen. And that works better for me than to watch it because I hear the emotion and whatever's going on. So I like to listen. So he'll put it on and I'll just turn my head and every once in a while I'll turn around and his face will be like, Juice will be doing something. I'm like, ooh, he's going through it. That's comedy relief though.
Excuse me.
But yeah, I definitely want to stay in the background and like read the comments and stuff. And if there's something, I know you guys are trying to talk and trying to read and talk is kind of hard sometimes. So
can you see the little chat button down there if you need to chat with any of us or all of us?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's what I was telling Keith. They said they can talk. I said, so if people are writing stuff and you guys are like trying to read it and trying to keep your train of thought, it's really hard.
So I got multiple devices, so I usually troll through the Facebook Live, but if I'm engaged in this, I'm not, and I'll go back when someone else is talking and do that.
Yeah,
Glad,
sometimes Keith thinks
glad you are here to man that because you don't know how many times I get in here chit chat. Keys, there's comments. Your page, get them comments.
They don't be populating. I'll be looking at the live.
Me and Nikki be answering them.
Andrea, will you be
Girl Friday doing all the clerical admin shit?
Somebody gotta do it. What were you saying, Nikki?
So am I hearing it that Andrea's going to be manning the comments and things like that and watching as they come in, or is that
no?
what
I want Mocha to do what she does because I think that's perfect. Yeah. I just kind of want to watch it and then, like he wants me to jump in with certain things, but I don't.
She's gonna take Mac's position. You feel me? She do our fact checker. She'll do research for us while we're doing what we're doing.
He's taking my name. He done demoted me. He done took my name.
Mm-mm.
You got 5 devices over there.
I be damned. I just got used to that name. I've been called a fact checker all week. And I was like, all right, fuck it. It fits.
Oh,
Oh,
that was a fact checker.
Who's
That's-
monitoring the comments?
or you
That's-
can call me receipt. You can
that's
call
what
me
I was
receipt.
gonna- That's what I was going to have Andrea do, you know?
Because I don't have my phone.
Yeah, and I miss them, and my shit doesn't auto.
But
load.
Mocha, it's all on you. Trust me. I'm not.
No. You're in here now. Too late. Can't get out the pool.
Yo, nice
Swim,
to meet you,
backstroke, doggy paddle through this. You got Facebook. That's all you.
I'm not a. I did this with
I need
girls.
some. Hold on, y'all. I need some lotion. I'm sorry. Hold on.
She said some lotion. Are you painting right now, Earl?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
He's a
I'm gonna have to put that in.
multitasker.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Boy,
This is my therapy for the day. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
there you go.
this is my therapy for the day.
Were you saying that's your therapy, Keith?
Mhm.
With your big old lit up grin.
Very therapeutic. Straight-
Where do you guys
from the
live?
I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, I have a family in Tucson. I lived in Tucson.
Oh, yeah, U of A. I like U of A and I like Mount Lemon. Other than that, I don't really like Tucson too much.
I was there when I was 8, so I don't remember too much about it. Just where I lived, and that's about it. And but I
Yeah.
have relatives out there still. So
Yeah. I mean, the people that live in Tucson are loyal to Tucson and they love it. It's just a total, like I grew up right smack dab in the middle of Phoenix and Tucson. So I kind of gravitated towards the Phoenix vibe versus the Tucson vibe.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went out for asthma, so the dry climate helped with my asthma. So my parents
Oh, yeah.
sent me away to my aunt and uncle.
Yeah. It definitely has that good climate here for asthma.
Yeah, definitely. It helped. It did help.
My music stuff.
Andrea, for me, I'm in Indiana, Indianapolis, and
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I'm in the Midwest.
You're
I've been there.
You're a
It
few
was really like the movies. Like when I thought Midwest, like gray skies and like smokestacks and like, you know what I mean? Like factory look. It literally looks like that. I was like, whoa.
I
It's
mean,
like the movies.
I would say, you know, it's other areas that I would say like go to Gary, you'll get a little bit more of that. Indianapolis, you're gonna get a little bit more city feel. It's just it don't have a lot of high buildings. Like it's just now getting to a place where you can tell people from the West Coast are investing. People are seeing the potential and like, damn, this is gonna be a new place for techs and for
Oh man.
you know, development in that sense.
got her lotion.
And the arts is starting to develop. It's kind of behind, like in most cities, they've been thriving, but now Indy is just now getting its chance, and that's going to help with all of that. And I'm part of that community as well. But yeah,
Nice.
you know, I'm really a West Coast type of.
From West Coast. You said West Coast. I can't do my fingers, but you know what I'm trying to do.
You got to throw that thing out. You got to
I'm
take that thing
East
out.
Coast. I'm from New York originally, so
Yeah.
Were you a Brooklyn? You a Brooklyn girl?
West Point.
Oh, damn. Excuse me.
Hey.
Right?
All right, well,
Heard that.
Tell the real queen in this building.
Man, I'm telling you.
Look,
we gave you.
I'm coming straight out the show.
You did not show up, so
Will he pop in?
that's very possible.
Oh.
But Miss Smoker Wine, could you please give us our introduction so we can start?
Can y'all hear my music?
Yeah. You can crank it up.
Anyway, I'm messing with y'all. Good evening, good evening. Get in here, y'all. Welcome to another edition of the Conscious Corner. Tonight, we're going to talk about ownership and accountability. We're going to put on our big people draws and own up to some shit. That's what we're going to do tonight. Tonight on the panel. So excited. We got a few guests tonight. We have Miss Andrea Walker, Omar Rashan. Of course, we have Nikki in the building, Keys, of course, and I am his co-host, Miss Mocha Wine. We're gonna get it started. And I always like to turn over the floor to our guests. Just light work. Say a little something, something. Go ahead. Ladies first. Go ahead, Miss Andrea.
Oh, she threw me out there.
I always throw people under the bus. Didn't he tell you that?
No, he didn't, but I know now. Well, I don't. It's just like I said. This is totally new to me as far as introductions. I don't know what do you say. Our age. What do we say? What we do for a living? What do we do?
Miss Andrea, we're gonna take like 2 minutes. Whenever I bring up a topic, I like to just go around the panel and briefly how you feel about like some people, they don't own shit.
Mhm.
They could be wearing a whole Asian woman's hair on their head, and that's her shit.
Mhm.
That's it's HIB. Here I bought. It's mine. You know what I mean? So I'm like, own it. You bought it. It's yours. Own
I
it.
got this one for $17.99 off of Amazon and 1 day shipping. I was like, yes, synthetic, and it's still nice.
$17.99.
$17.99, girl. Full thin or synthetic. I can't even get it out of my mouth. Synthetic.
That should
This ain't even like a human hair blend.
It is. Is that the master mix?
No, hell no.
No. Can you put heat on it?
This is budget.
Can you
No.
put heat on it?
Huh?
You put heat on it.
Mhm.
See, I ain't never bought no wig for no $17.99, so I'm curious right about now. Like, okay, $17.99, that's a steal. That's
That
what.
is a steal.
So, I don't want to put no pressure on you, Miss Andrea. Welcome for thank you for joining us tonight. Welcome.
I'll warm up, I promise.
Again, our topic tonight is going to be accountability and ownership. And you can put this in any category you want to put it in, like real talk. I'm not talking about just hair, body parts, or anything like that. I'm talking about in general in life. A lot of people don't like to take ownership. And it's really weird because whenever something goes wrong with me, I like to examine things on both sides. I like to take a look at, and it's because there's a cause and an effect. So I like to look at what started this. I think I posted something on the group today. What started this? It's not who's wrong, but what started this conversation. So usually whenever I solve my issues and I go to present, the resolution, I was like, I know that I take ownership. I know that I may not have been communicating in a way that I should have, or I may have done this. And I always start that conversation like that so that it's not directing anything towards the other person. And it'll make them more comfortable to open up and own some of their shit,
Not to say you.
Yes. And so I have learned, and I don't know why I don't have no relationships. I can't keep up with a relationship because I can't keep up with a cheating man. I can't keep up with none of that shit. So when it comes down to it, like, I don't even know why I don't have a relationship because I'm super understanding when it comes to like working things out. And I don't fly off the handle. I don't blow up. And my last relationship, we were together for 5 years. And when it was over and said and done with, it was so silent and awkward because I didn't say anything. I didn't go out kicking and scratching. I told him. All I needed was to hear that we're good. I can leave you alone for life.
Mhm. No hard feelings.
I am sorry that this didn't work out, but we grew apart. Like we didn't talk to each other while we were branching out, But whenever a person gets to the point where they need to own some shit, it becomes difficult because it's self-reflection. You have to take a look in the mirror. And as vain as some people can be and want to stare at themselves in the mirror, but when you have to stare in the mirror and analyze yourself, look within yourself, it becomes difficult. So whether you know it or not, ownership is a hard thing. Although people are possessive by nature, ownership is a hard thing for people to grasp. And I had to learn, when I first got that term ownership, I was in marketing. I was working in marketing. I was a campaign manager. And my director hit me with that shit, and I was like, I don't like it, but I love it. You know what I mean? He's like, this is your campaign. I was doing Jose Iber. I was handling Jose Iber, his hair products and stuff. He's a top hairdresser in Hollywood. But anyways, and when she said that word to me, I was like, I am boss. I own it. It's mine. So I got to claim this in every way, make it what it is. And so when it comes down to resolving issues or whatever it is, to be honest with you, I don't care what people think about me because I'm like a Sour Patch Kid. You know, I start off sour to some people, end up sweet, or I start off sweet to some people, end up sour. It's okay. Not everybody likes Sour Patch Kids. But anyways, I am comfortable knowing that when it's all said and done, I'm going to admit and acknowledge my bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a final resolution when you do that. Because now in your mind, you're at peace with whatever happened. Because you owned your shit. No, so what if they didn't own theirs? You know you owned yours. So that's kind of where we're going tonight. I know I went a little heavy and long on that, but I wanted to give you an idea of the direction because I don't like our guests to be lost in the sauce trying to figure out what we're talking about and where we're going. So welcome, Miss Andrea. If I have given you a little bit of insight on what we're talking about, you can chime in.
Was you gonna say something, Andrea? Sorry.
Oh, well, no, I can go out. You go ahead. I'm good.
I think, man, sometimes we forget the power of governing oneself. I think that we kind of lose sight of that because of all the noise that goes within, and then not even that, we follow in a playbook. And so when all that noise is going on inside the mind, and we're following this the status quo, we lose ourselves. And we do that in the relationship. That's why, like, I'm at a point in my life, like, I'm starting to really realize trying to be traditional is really a setup. It's because here's the thing, when you really think about it, a real relationship boils down to communication anyway. And so when you lack communication in the way you might be, because like I learned this on a, like, man, it took me, okay, so I ended up investing into a spiritual counselor. Always been the person who liked to read, always self-reflect a lot, but it was just something that I just couldn't get to a place of, like, why this shit ain't working, whether it's with me and my kid's mother. All my relationship outside of that with women was awesome. But for some reason, when it came to my kid's mother, we just couldn't, we got to this place where we just couldn't click. So I had to start owning my shit. You know what I mean? I had to start going to a place of, you know what? I don't get into the blame game. I'm not going to blame you. I'm going to own this shit, and I'm going to just self-reflect. So having a spiritual counselor made me understand I need to get back to govern myself and start digging deep within self and start now looking at why these disconnects might be there. It could be me, it could be my children's mother, but the journey is about getting away from the norm and stepping outside of oneself to get to that journey of where you want to be. Because here's the thing, I'm always a person that wake up happy naturally. So in my mind and in my spirit, I know I'm not fucked up. I might not be the best communicator. I might be good at communicating in other ways. Mm-hmm. But this thing that now this tangle that we in, I might be lacking because now I put too much energy into being a hard worker and might have lost a little bit of that foundation through hard work and got away from the normal table talk. I'm a true believer that having a kitchen table, sitting down, not eating in the bedroom, like sitting down at the table, chopping it up, like that's the fundamental, that's the foundation of really getting back to that conversation and just talking. But I won't over talk. I just want to say, I think it is important for us to really hold ourselves accountable, govern ourselves in a way of understanding, where our non-negotiables are, understanding, because if we get those things out the way, that to me, that's preventative maintenance. That's really assuring things to really work in the future. And granted, we all know that people are going to grow. And with the growth, it's going to change. You look at plant, you look at nature, you look at anything that has life that grows. it doesn't look like its original state. When you see it in a beautiful state, it might break off, and then another part might grow, and that part might grow to the left. But it's still at the extension of oneself. It's still at the true point of that root. So it's just about adjusting and having
And I'm saying this,
conversation and being,
growing into a relationship.
huh?
Are you saying this to grow into a relationship or just growing within yourself?
Yeah, grow within yourself, because if you do that, the relationship is going to do what it's supposed to do anyway. If both parties are trying to grow. Now, if one
Well,
stays stagnant, it ain't gonna have the same.
that makes sense. I think I've grown myself out of a relationship.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
don't have
I
a
said,
desire to be in a relationship
Mhm.
I said,
because of all that I've gone through.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
fine.
Yeah.
said that last week. So when you said when you all speak of the grow apart, uh, grow away from each other, pretty much what it is, phase.
But I
And
think that's a choice though too. Like I think some people they grow. People don't want to put in the work. So like there's a part of, yeah, we might be growing apart, but we don't have to. It don't have to be all tell all. Like we can really assess each other and be like, I might have missed that. You grew in that area and I missed that. That's my fault.
and see, that's what I wanted to say. Last week I said that, and I can't. I think I don't know if I don't know what we were talking about. Maybe the week. Yeah, last week. One of
One
our
of these days.
love and loyalty. I think it was. I
Oh,
had meant what is wrong when that happens in the relationship. And I think we're going to lean into talking about accountability here. It's a good segue for talking about accountability because we're in the relationship. If two people are so committed to one another and they're starting to grow and one starts to branch apart or one is not growing at the same pace.
right.
If you're a horticulturist, you know that when your plants are growing and one is not growing at the same rate of the other, what are you going to do? You're going to provide a little bit more attention to the plant that is lagging, right? So what happens in relationships? Because it seems like I've always been that one where say something's happened, I don't know, anything happened, man gets laid off, whatever. I'm in a relationship, man gets laid off or whatever. He's got savings, he's holding down his bills and everything fine, but like I want to do things. I still want to have our date nights. I still want to, I don't want to take from the relationship. I'm going to pick up the slack. I'm going to fertilize into the area where he's lacking and handle that. And that's why I don't understand. And when I get that as a reason for relationships ending, I'm like, it's bullshit because if you wanted to nurture it,
You can.
you could pour so much love and attention into that.
Mhm.
That's where I fail though.
But
Every
see,
relationship I've ever walked away from, I didn't try because I
and
felt,
for me, and for me, like I
yeah,
tried. So, I mean, I can't say I bent over backwards, but I gave my all to the relationship. And I was like, I'm okay with it ending. And I'm not going to be like,
yeah.
oh, I did this, I
When
did that. Because he
you
did a
hear
lot.
it all and it doesn't work for me, I walk away.
Yeah.
I can't go back and say, well, let's try it this way, let's try it that way. I got married when I was 20.
Oh,
So
God.
in my mind, I'm a young bride. However, my husband was, 4 years older, but he was from the South. So he had different ideas than I had.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we were already apart when we got married, but I felt we'll learn, we'll grow together, let's try this. And everything I came out with, he was such a prude that it made me feel like
He
I
was
had,
stifled. You weren't allowed to live the way you wanted to
yeah,
live.
I had to be a prude to be with him.
It was just diminished to what he was doing. And that's boring.
Exactly. I became what he wanted me to be. No makeup, no nails, nothing. Just,
Huh.
Go to work and come home. But I was happy because he was happy. And then when I found out that I wasn't happy,
That's when
I
it all
couldn't
came.
convey it because he didn't understand it. So we communicated, but not enough to say that I'm not happy and this isn't working because he thought, you don't complain, the bills are paid, we don't have any problems. So I said, let's have a kid. That will make us happy. And then that took a very long time to have a child. And then as soon as we had the child and started, cultivating that type of family atmosphere, he decided to step out of the relationship.
Mhm.
So I thought for a minute because I thought, no, you're not going anywhere. But then I'm like, go. If you want to go, go. and he wouldn't leave. So when I finally got him out of the house, he then wanted to be friends. And I can't be friends with you now. We were friends when we were married. So it just became very weird because I didn't want to be my husband to be my best friend, and we're divorced now. So, and we're good friends now, but it took a long time to get there. He got married. His wife didn't like me, so that caused problems because I talked too much to her, and I tried to work things out with her because my kid was there. So it just became real toxic for me to just, but I owned up to the fact that I was being a little, rude and insensitive because of the way things happen. But had they come to me, or he came to me as a man and said, look, this is what happened and this is how I feel, I could have respected that versus, the cheating part. So I just said, if I'm not going to fight for my husband, I'm not going to fight for any other relationship. So as a result of that, 25 years ago, every relationship, if it starts going bad, I'm done. I don't want to talk about it. I'm done, and I walk away. So that's why I think I've talked myself out of a relationship, because I have no desire to be in a relationship now. I work, I come home, I work, and that's it. And I'm content that way. No
Yeah.
drama.
Yeah, but you know what? I respect that though. You know, at the end of the day, because I
That's what I'm capable of, but not.
that might be your personality type. I can understand that. Like I might be a hopeless romantic, honestly. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
used to be, but not anymore.
and I'm a very optimistic person though. Like, I'm not really a person that shit just because it didn't work over here don't mean it ain't gonna work. You know what I mean? And I had to. What I ended up doing, I started owning my own shit. I started elevating my own self. Like what I started really realizing was like, shit, oh, that's your fault. You didn't ask the right questions in the beginning. Like, my spiritual counselor made me realize, like, damn, you just didn't ask enough questions. You got caught up, like you got that Leo syndrome. You get caught up in that dreamy state of,
Well, Leo
of
syndrome? What do you
I
mean?
was just about to ask you if you were a friggin' Leo and you're a July Leo.
I'm a
Huh?
Leo. I'm a July Leo.
August?
yeah,
You're
August
a Leo
18th.
too?
Oh, I'm a July Leo, so you're a different Leo than me.
I
Yeah.
sense the July Leo in this mix right here. I didn't know you were Leo. I was thinking it was him for some reason. I knew when he said Leo, I was like, but then I thought
I'm
July
more
because that's
Cancer.
the energy I feel because I'm a
I'm more
Cancer.
Cancer.
Right.
I'm more Cancer. I'm the
I'm
24th, so I'm more Cancer.
I'm a
Yeah,
Cancer.
I'm
I
more Cancer.
I felt y'all little lines up in here. I tell you
So
what,
I see. Here's the thing, though. Like, the reason why I can relate to Andrea, because I have that way about myself. Like, if you do something to me, and you show me, like, if I pour into you, and I realize, like, damn, you shit on me, I will have that like stiff arm action. Like, I'm cool. Like, it'll be hard for me to like be friends with you for a minute until you own your shit. Like, when you own your shit, then I kind of be like, okay. Because I feel like shit, if I gotta have self accountability, you damn right you gonna have it. Shit, if I gotta eat my own shit because I done made uh maybe not a conscious decision, or I wasn't aware of something because I was caught up in like, just, what I realized that most women don't realize, men, like, when we out here and we in the grind, we in survival mode a lot of times until we at a certain point in our career where, it's obvious that things are just flowing. We're not just going to just take any check. We can actually say no. But we haven't caught up to that mindset. That's why, like, the ideal of like a traditional relationship, it might not work for most people. And I get that. And I'm just now getting to a point of that understanding, like, you know what? I done had too many queens tell me, hey, it'd be easy for you to have two wives, just the way your energy flow, the type of person that, you are a very understanding person, your emotional intelligence is there. And it makes me think, like, you know what? Maybe I don't have to be on that level of commitment. Maybe I could just, I know the power of women. And I've never being raised by a woman and having that deep connection with my mother made me understand a lot of things. Like, I'm guilty of most things that most men are guilty of, but I'm not guilty of a lot of things that they're guilty of either. Like, I have a sense of like, you know what? I'm not gonna do that because I understand a woman enough to not cross that line.
Balance.
And I respect that energy. And you know what? I believe in, like, I don't know, that Leo part in me, like, I'm so loyal. Like, if you do right by me, you got a friend for a lifetime. Like, yes, a lot of shit you ain't even gonna have to, if I know that if you across town and your shit fucked up, I'm gonna be the one to come get you because I'm gonna let you know this is what it looked like. This is what a real relationship looked like, you know. And so once that thing breaks, you know, that bond is kind of like, man, it gets kind of weird after that. So I definitely understand where Andrew's coming from. Like once that loyalty's gone, it's pretty much it's over. Now, granted, I give a little bit of credit. Like some people can bounce back. Like, okay, damn, I made a mistake. I made a bad decision. I'm gonna show you that I'm gonna own my shit. I'm gonna get back on that horse. I'm gonna do it right. And it might take a minute for that to all come back together, but you know, consistency is a motherfucker.
But you would see it.
Exactly. You see it in that person, in their energy. You can tell when a person is very empathetic, they feel bad about what they did. I have a issue with people who don't feel bad about hurting another person because it's like, oh well, you know, I try to tell you, but it's like, damn, if you know me, if you say you know me well enough, do you know don't do this because that's the deal breaker.
And when you already know, like we said, coming into this, a part of a person owning their shit, they have to attach the I to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it has to be, you have to pick the right pronoun. You got to say I, not you. So I think at the end of the day, like, you know, a lot of things tie back to, for some reason, in our conversations about relationships. And we can talk about them. I don't care. We talk about them all the time. We're not professionals, y'all. We don't have no PhDs around here, but we have a whole hell of a lot of experience, and we can talk about some stuff. We can talk about solutions or how we came to a proper solution. Like the end of the day, we're just gonna talk about accountability and ownership. I mean, if y'all want to talk about some toxic relationships, so be it. Welcome, Wanda. Hey.
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Can't hear
Your audio is still connecting. Well, I'm pretty sure I've had some toxic relationships. I don't think that they are to the point where I remember them. I'm just saying that I probably have because I have to take the female's side into consideration. And I know I wasn't the best boyfriend a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? So it may not have been toxic on my side, but I'm pretty sure, you know what I'm saying, I damaged a few people out here along my travels. And
So, okay, so you're admitting it to us in this audience tonight. But did you ever take ownership in those moments when the relationship was dissolving? Were you
I'm pretty sure I didn't. I didn't know how to. I was too young. I was too young. I didn't know. Just like we don't know how to communicate effectively. We know we need to talk, but we don't even know what words to use to formulate the ideas that we have in our head.
so
So I'm 100% sure I didn't take accountability at that time.
no, so like given time passed, and I don't know if you've been in contact or come across these people.
I don't. Very few. I run into very few people in my past, so I have not had the opportunity to, apologize or take accountability for how I acted in the relationships. But at the same time, I definitely have not had a lot of relationships either. You know what I'm saying? I just, for a long time, I just didn't think I was built for relationships. You know what I'm saying? Just how I move, how I flow. And I'm not gonna. Well, let's say this. For a long time, I didn't think I was built for a traditional relationship because I didn't believe a lot of the things that traditional relationships held true to their values. That I didn't have those weren't they didn't those values didn't align with me. So that's why I have not had a lot of relationships because in my soul it just naturally didn't sit right with me. I've been married before and all of that, and that didn't even work out for me. But I do remember one story. I remember I got in trouble as a kid. And my father was chastising me, and I think he was saying along the lines of what happened, and I started saying who was involved and everything, and he was like, "When are you going to take responsibility for what you did in this?" And I was like, "But I didn't do nothing. It was, how we are as children, But that conversation resonates with me always, always. And I definitely have passed that knowledge on to my son about taking accountability for your actions. I always teach them, I was like, and my daughters, but I teach them that if you don't want to own up to it, don't do it. Plain and simple. Like if you don't want to own up to it, don't do it. And if you can't own up to it, that lets you know that you shouldn't be doing it. You know,
Like, are too embarrassed to own that shit, then maybe you shouldn't do it.
exactly, because as an adult, that's one of the things that makes you an adult, being responsible for your actions. And then my man Russell said, I'm paraphrasing because I can't see the comment anymore. My man Russell said, how much do you give before you lose your sanity? You know, how hard do you try in a relationship until you just lose yourself?
I would say shit, you gotta own your own sanity. You know what I mean? Meaning that you gotta know where your kill switch is. Meaning like you know when to like be like, okay, enough is enough. Like I realize you really gotta know where your line is. And if you don't,
Look at the hood. Look at how many people live in the hood in the projects. And
Right.
you would figure they've been out there years ago because, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is enough. Enough is enough. I lost one son. I lost two sons. I lost three kids. So do we truly know where that line is? And how do we get to that line? How do we find it?
mhm. I think sometimes, man, we can get so comfortable that we just put up with the shit. Like even like when you put it like that, I think about being like when Kanye said something like slavery was a choice, I understood exactly what he meant. I wasn't on the other side taking it the wrong way. And you know, I get it. It's like you can be in a situation for so long, you just get comfortable. You forget that, you know, you actually in the shit.
And it just becomes normal. Just because
Yeah.
it becomes normalized, even if it's not normal.
Right. And that's why I'm a true believer, like, you know, and I don't know if I learned this through being a person who's a creative and always have to deal with new challenges. But what I realize is you always want to be in a position where you're uncomfortable. Um, when you do that, you start solving problems better. It's just a lot of things that come with, you know, being in an uncomfortable position. And then not even that, I still dream. I still have my mind set on certain things and keeping my state of mind at a high level. Like I still, not like a desire to like want materialism, but more like I still see myself being in certain places that I desire, that I need for myself.
I feel you. Chris said, Chris said, through the good and the bad relationships, we learn who we are and what we need. We also learn what we can and should give in a loving, stable, and safe relationship. I agree with that, Chris. But I also got to say that you have to have an open mind for that, because if you're a closed-minded individual, you know what I'm saying. This goes back to what we were talking about. You're not going to take accountability for what you've done in that relationship. You're going to play the blame game. You're going to deflect and everything else, you know, because who the fuck wants to be wrong? You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day.
828-265.
I hear you. You want here?
You can hear me. I'm trying to get it to where so I can get on the video side of it. I know you can hear me over here trying to. I don't know what the hell's going on. But anyway, I'm here, so you just may not see me, but I'm here.
Okay. Yeah, because it doesn't even show your microphone or anything. It shows this telephone. You may have to
Go out and come back in. It's got your phone number revealed on the Zoom.
Yeah.
Exit out and come back in, please, Miss Wendy.
Yes, ma'am.
You are over there in Hollywood Square up in the corner. What's good?
What's good?
Yeah.
Chilling.
Hollywood Square's up there in the corner. What's good?
Man, just listening to you guys, loving hearing all the voices.
So we're talking about ownership and accountability tonight, Nikki.
I hear you.
Oh. Did you want to talk about it with us?
Did you have a question? I didn't have anything to say up to this point.
thought we was freestyling, like you said in the beginning. Let's get to freestyling.
Hey, when I got something to say, I'll say it.
Oh, okay. My bad. So
to go even further, I also think that not necessarily make, but we have to try to uphold or push people to be accountable for their actions. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've been saying that for years. Like, we are in the place where we are because nobody's being held accountable. Period. I'm not even talking about in relationships. I'm talking about in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's being held accountable for their actions. They just react and they get no consequences, so they continue down that path. You know what I'm saying? But I believe that if we hold people accountable for their actions, they will stop. Because you got this, we're patternmatic. Like my son knows he's not going to get an ass whooping. He knows because of the previous patterns. He knows he's going to get yelled at. He knows he's going to get blah, blah, blah. He's going to get his Xbox taken away. But as far as punish, nah. So we got to, you know what I'm saying? So I try to teach him to be accountable for his actions, you know?
Okay.
There she is.
What's up, Wendy?
There I go.
Hi,
Hello.
Wendy.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
hey, Miss Wendy, welcome.
Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you.
But I'm loving your purple passion.
Girl, that's that weekend flavor right there.
I know you gonna forget it when you call me if you need
Yes. Girl.
Wendy, we talking about ownership and accountability tonight. You've been hearing any of this?
Yeah, I've heard some. But I'm gonna let y'all do what you do while, because I probably missed some good stuff while I was trying to figure out how to get into this video. So y'all give me a minute to play catch up.
That's good. So yeah, we're just, when I think about it, I don't know why I always do this to y'all. I know y'all hate me, probably want me to shut up about this, but I mean, I think our sitting idiot needs to take some accountability and ownership. Like, number 45 needs to be like listening to this, make this shit go viral. You know what I mean? No, number 45 needs to go ahead and let go. And I understand, like, quitting. He's not a quitter. Whatever. You don't have to quit. You lost. You know what I mean? Like, understand that part. You don't have to quit because you've already lost. So just go ahead and throw in the towel. Let's do this in a decent manner.
He's just a big baby. A big baby won't walk away, won't give up. If he doesn't like you, he fires you.
Well, y'all got to, y'all know. Oh, I'm sorry, baby. I didn't mean to talk. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Well, let's just put it in perspective. You got an old ass white man who never has known what struggle truly is. He's privileged. He's narcissistic. He's bipolar. He's just fucking crazy. At the end of the damn day. I mean, let's look at he fucking crazy. And the sad part about it is there's no change whatsoever that's going to occur between now and when he leaves this earth. He is who he is. And that's just his personality, and it's not going to change. And a lot of people, whether we want to admit to it or not, and especially men, and although women can be narcissistic, but mainly men folk seems to carry that trait. At the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. And a lot of folks is toxic, and they don't even realize they toxic because they normalize the shit. They just got it in their mind it's their way or the highway. And don't matter what you feel, how you feel about it, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. It's all about them. You got a lot of folks. We've been raised by toxic parents at the end of the daggum day. Where do we think we learn some of that behavior from? I mean, real talk. How you when you stop and you think about it, you look at your parents and you look at, how their relationship was. They probably couldn't even like each other long enough, but they dealt with each other because they done had children and done collected bills with one another. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you got a lot of folks that get in these relationships that they should have been walking away from the very beginning. But you decide in your head somewhere that you're going to force somebody and pressure that person into a relationship with you. And at the end of the day, you should have been letting them go on about their business. But but our pride and our ego will tell us, no, I ain't gonna let another woman get a hold of him. I know he ain't shit, but he just gonna be my ain't shit. And at the end of the day, I'll be like, bitch, go on, have him. If you can get some better use out of it than I could, then so be it. That just meant that the relationship wasn't for me. But a lot of times we'll just keep on and keep on and keep on. We'll break our own heart first before somebody else do.
Don't worry about what our friends say.
Mm-hmm.
We make sure our friends think everything's wonderful when they know it's not.
Right. It's crazy.
Well, your friends are your worst critics because your friends will tell you you don't belong with that person and you know you don't, but you will find every good thing about that person to say. But when you're mad, you get on the phone and you talk about how bad he is. You can say it, but they can't. They start talking about, your guy. You're like, wait. But they only know what you tell them. They only know what you let them see. So at the end of the day, yeah, you're accountable for how he treats you or what he does. But yeah, you'll stay with him as long as
most time we do.
Mm-hmm.
Most time we do, especially as women. We'll sit there and we'll come up with 1,001 excuses on why he treat me this way. Ooh, why he did this and why he did that. Bitch, cause you let him. At the end of the damn day, you let him. I mean, really, we be letting people all up in our head. We be letting people just have too much control at the end of the day. We can't focus on us and see if we get us a hobby, meditate, and get our mind and focus on us a little bit more. You ain't got time to look up and be worried about somebody else and they bullshit at the end of the damn day. I'm just keeping 100. I learned a long time ago. You will never be able to please another person 100% anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You won't. So you'll spend the rest of your life trying to be a people pleaser and miserable as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I worked in customer service for 20 years, so that's my thing. I always have to make sure everybody's happy. Everybody's, when we go out to eat, I'll pick the check up and then divide this is how much you owe, and then people pay just what their amount is and don't worry about the tip or the tax. And I'm like, and I saw that I kept putting in extra money. I'm like, wait, okay, I'll do it every once in a while, but I noticed it became a pattern because I kept doing it. And they were okay with that. So I learned to start saying no and not doing something just because somebody asked me to do it. So, but being customer service, that's your job to please the customer. So you don't know how to say no. But I've learned.
And Michael Baisden wrote a book, Never Satisfied. And I remember reading that book when I was going through the throes of my relationship, 11-year relationship, a whole complete waste of my time. But nevertheless, I remember reading that book and understanding the man that was in the house with me, like getting a good understanding of him. No matter what I did, it was never going to be enough. But I had to come to the point where I knew that I was enough. He was just never satisfied. Mm-hmm. And I had to own that part of the relationship going bad. Like, I did the best I could. You just weren't satisfied.
Mm-hmm. And if you could walk with knowing you did your best, then that's all.
Yeah, you had to have her and her and her. And if that's what you wanted to do, you should have left me alone. Period.
Exactly. Let me control my own destiny. Tell me what you're doing. The truth hurts, but at least I know. And then I can decide, do I want to go with that ride or no, I want to get off that ride. So at least, I was in a relationship like that. And I knew he was with other people because I would catch him. But I thought because I caught him and he didn't know that I was in control, not realizing that I was the one, as long as I knew, the other women were in a state of bliss. They had no idea. So I'm like, they're so dumb. They don't even know that and I'm like, wait, they're not the dumb ones because they don't know. I'm the dumb one because I know and I continue to go through it. And I would never confront him with it because if you're snooping and you find something out, you don't have the right to confront that person.
Right, and that's where they fall on that. That was the big thing with my ex, and I'm not a snooper. Trust me, I don't want to go searching your shit.
I'm not stupid. He would leave his phone on. He'd talk to me, hang up. All right, talk to you later. My phone's dying, and put it in his pocket and go where he was going. And I'm hearing the conversation.
Mm-mm.
And I'm like, okay. Or he would mean to call somebody else, but he would call and he's so busy doing stuff, he'd leave a message on my answer machine for someone else.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I'm not a snooper. That's not my thing, because I've always learned if you go looking for something, you're
And you find
definitely
it.
find it. And then it's up for you to interpret what you found. And you can draw any conclusion in your mind what it meant. And so, like, going back to my situation, I wasn't snooping. I was making up the bed. I went, spread the bed, and the phone was right there on the bed. And as soon as I went to pick it up, it vibrated, and he had the message previews that came up, and it was a female, and she out the gate, "Good morning, handsome." And then right after that, "I missed you last night. Why didn't you call?" But because I was there, bitch. Like, what the fuck? What you mean, why he didn't call? I was there. So, and the thing about it was, I didn't even confront him about it because I knew how he was about his privacy. And no matter what I said, I knew he was going to turn it around on me. Why were you looking through my phone?
Absolutely. When I did try it, he would say, well, that's what you get for looking. And I'm like,
get for looking. And so I went ahead and went to work that morning. He called me at work. He was like, "Are you coming back tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm sure you're checking the pathway." I said, "Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there when I get off. I'll be there when I get off." And when I got off of work, I went there and packed up all of my shit. Like all my, because I had clothes and stuff over there, dishes and shit. I packed up all of my shit, slow motion, walked that shit out. He's like, "Babe, where are you going?"
this is the 5-year relationship?
5 year. Yeah, 5.
I did that for 13.
And I said, I'm calm about it. And he, every time he was like, "I was more concerned because you weren't making a fuss. You were just quiet." And I told him, silence is golden. What the fuck am I supposed to do?
Stop making a fuss. That's when they should worry.
What's done is done. It's up to you to own what you did, and never own it. It was all the cause and effect. If you weren't looking at my phone, I don't care if it was in your face, you should have turned it over. You should have ignored it, never brought it up. You should have never reacted to it. Come over here taking your shit up out of here. What do you mean? You don't want to talk about it? There's nothing to talk about. You're fine. You're free. What's all that supposed to mean? And I'm like, you are free. I love you, but you're free to do what you want to do.
Yeah. I walked away when I was in love. That was the best time. Because if I walked away when I was angry, I would hate him. So I was at the height, and I was like, you know what? This is wrong. I can't do it anymore. And he's like, "You'll be back." And I was like, "I won't," because I did. I went back a lot. Nope. It took that one time to say, because he was so confident that I was going to come back. And he had done the ultimate. He had a child on the way, and he still felt like I was cool with it. So it was just like but that was the straw for me. My birthday is very important to me. It's the one day, I don't do anything else. And the baby was born 2 days before my birthday. So he couldn't spend my birthday with me. And then he said, "Well, when he turns 1, we'll go away." I mean, he was just born, and he wanted me to understand that. And I couldn't, regardless of the child. That had nothing to do with the child being here, but it was my birthday. I'm like, not only that, you have the child on my birthday. So that's a constant reminder. So yeah, but that gave me the power to walk away. So, and didn't look back. I never went back after that. So
Soul Child said, "Walking away in love is a G move." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Get all the power.
Yeah, I still love him. I just don't want to be with him.
Nikki, my man Ernie said, he said, "Folks would rather do things the hard way, to be honest." And can you give me some opinion on why they would want to do things the hard way versus the other way?
So why would someone want to do things the hard way versus the opposite being the easy way?
Like in a relationship, like why would you stay in a relationship that you know is not good for you or going anywhere? Why are you know what I'm saying? Like you have people that literally try to make those relationships work, knowing that they're not compatible. Like I've dated many of women, and I told them that I'm not monogamous. And they were, but they still dated me. So that would be doing things the hard way. Because at the end of the day,
set yourself up for failure.
You're not going to get what you want out of the deal if you're looking for a committed relationship. So Why do they do that? Please, from a female perspective, can you explain to me why the fuck do they keep doing that? I men do it too, but I need to know why y'all do that shit. It is perplexing to me. I don't understand it. I keep it 100 with you. I keep it honest with you, and you still get mad at me. I still am the bad guy because I won't conform or I won't change over time. So I'm just curious.
I can only speak in response, to Ernie, specifically in my situation regarding a relationship. The only relationship that I can really refer back to where it was an actual relationship was my marriage. And that was a hard marriage that ended in divorce because there was never a resolution that was made. Now, where I need to take ownership in that, and now my ex-husband, I absolutely love him with all of my heart. I can see where all of the hardships that we went through, even in the betrayal, even in the dual abuse that we did back and forth with each other. Had all of that not happened, I wouldn't have my children. I wouldn't be where I'm at today. And I knew many a times throughout the relationship, through my intuition, that things were not as they appeared. And because I did not at that time trust my intuition, I allowed damage and fallout to happen, not only to my ex-husband, because I hurt him the same, if not worse. I was a woman who was scorned. So I attacked him. I humiliated him. And I did that out of woundedness. And I was wounded because I knew deep down in my core that I knew better. And I never acted on what I knew because I loved him so much. And we had kids. And I wanted, in my mind, I wanted to see this work. So I was willing to take that hard road to try to get there. But there comes a point where you realize that the other person does not reciprocate that same desire. And that's when you have to make the conscious decision to sever it. Once I went through that and I healed fully from it, I'm more alert and I'm more awake now. So I don't take 14 years and there's less fallout. And that's, I'm thorough. I can still take the hard road if necessary, but from point A to point B is much quicker, it's cleaner, and it's done.
What you think, Wendy? Let me hear from you, girl. Why y'all be
You
making
don't
it hard on yourself? God damn, y'all be making it hard on yourself.
know that. Hold up, player. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's go on and get you better open up a can of damn worm. Okay.
Breaks.
So what?
On the pump is brakes.
Yeah, because he about to pull that mean side out, so to speak. But the truth be told, I'm gonna tell you, I can't speak for other women. I can only speak for our women, our culture, because we done been taught that we got to struggle. Let me sit up in this damn bed. We got to struggle to get to the other side. We got to go through that struggle of, in other words, to find happiness. But we don't get that until we done got old as hell, and we feel like, okay, ain't nothing else left, so we done damn settle. So we settle because we have children with these men. So we're trying to prove a point that, you know what, I can have a successful relationship. I can have both parents in the house. You know, my kids is going to be raised with both parents in the house versus what we normally see now. We got a lot of baby mamas and baby daddies, but we ain't got no mothers and no fathers in the home. So that's, and then we're taught from a very young age that we got to, be nurturing and take care of something else outside of ourselves. Because somebody will slap a baby doll in a young girl's hand and start teaching her, these are the things that you got to do in order to, be successful, to be complete as a woman. So we'll put up with a whole lot of unnecessary bullshit trying to prove a point to our girlfriends, our parents, and whomever else, to society as a whole, because we don't want to get labeled. She couldn't even make her relationship work with that man, yada, 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 yada. So there's a lot of reasons why we'll hang around, deal with the nonsense, XYZ. But, when she finally figures some shit out as a woman, she finally starts coming into herself. Honey, when she fall in love with her, ain't no coming back from that. I'm sorry. Because she gonna leave you for herself. And it is what it is. But some women, it's gonna take a little longer. We all done rode the short yellow bus for somebody at some point in life. We have. We done rode
Right.
the damn short yellow bus. I have. I was with my ex-husband for 28 years. I knew that I was ready to leave that motherfucker after I said I do. If you want to know damn truth about it, I knew when I was walking down that aisle. I said, I'm gonna wake up one day, or he gonna wake up one. It's gonna be one or two, and I'm gonna realize love don't love me no more. I'm serious as a damn heart attack. At the end of the damn day, we both knew that at some point it was gonna happen, because see, I outgrew him in a lot of ways, and he probably outgrew me. And instead of us growing together, we just grew apart. And it is what it is. I mean, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, I was 15, he was 17 when we met, so we was kids. So we went through our entire life, basically. That's 3 decades, and trying to have a relationship. And we didn't know who we were when we got together, because we was kids. So I went from my mama's house to keeping house. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a lot. I've been, through stages. I've been a black child, a black adult, and now moving on into being a older black woman. And so that's 3 different stages of life that somebody didn't play catch up to. So I'm still learning who I am. That's why I value my singlehood right now. I don't give a F if I be by myself the rest of my life. That's what it means. Because I didn't get a chance to enjoy me. I didn't get a chance to understand who Wendy was, what Wendy was. Nobody never fucking asked me either, now that I think about it. Nobody never asked me, what do you want, Wendy?
No.
That's good, Wendy.
Mhm.
That's good. That's good for other young women to hear. Like, that was really good right there. Because I don't remember anybody asking me that either.
Exactly.
I really don't.
Then nobody asks us, what do you want? What makes you happy? What are the things that you aspire and want to do? Because as women, what we do is we absorb ourselves into everything else, which means the man, and then we busy trying to raise the children, that we lose ourselves. We absorb ourselves into that man. From sun up to sundown. I'm concerned about that man. I got to make sure that he's happy, that he's satisfied. I'm trying to do all these things that society says I'm supposed to do as a woman to keep him satisfied. But nobody never stopped and thought and asked me, well, what makes you happy sometimes? Well, what is the things that you truly enjoy doing? Bitch, get a damn hobby. That's what I had to realize. You know what? Those things that I wanted to do for self.
And, I don't mean
that's good. That was really good.
I don't mean this in a derogatory manner or by any means, but Black women are the most unbalanced creatures on the planet, because listen, because of what you just said. They take on the weight of everything. They don't know how to not bear that weight.
They're all over the place. I see it all
the time. Listen, I have to tell my mama to stop caring so much, and I know that sounds weird, but she will listen. She will care to the point, like
she can't sleep
until it's hurting her, till she's losing sleep. You know what I'm saying? Till it's starting to be unhealthy to her. So that's why I say that. Everybody else knows how to give and stop, and this is enough. I'm gonna put this much into this. Y'all put 100% in everything, and that's not possible. Y'all do. You can't. I've seen it.
As a Black woman, I can check all the boxes as a Black woman and say, I carry as much as I can mentally, emotionally, and physically carry until I feel like I'm going to pass out. Because in my mind and my heart and my spirit, I see myself as the mother of many nations. And so I bear that weight of responsibility to work until the job is finished to ensure a future of hope for the women that follow. So for me being a Black woman, I have a different perspective than you in our ability to what we can carry and remain balanced and rooted. Because there's a strength about us that I don't think that, I know for me, let me say it like this. For me, I have come across Black men, not all Black men, but a couple of Black men who did not value me as a Black woman. And I felt degraded. And so that's unfortunate that I felt that way. But I also understand that maybe they did not have a role model of what it looks like to honor a Black woman. So I have to give them grace in that now that I've learned a little bit. But when Black women have a lot of strength. That's all I'm trying to say.
Definitely.
That's not up for debate. We already know that. We already know that you're the strongest creatures on the planet. But my man Ernie said, but you can't be in 15 places and dealing with 15 different things at the same time. There's no room or time for self. So where is the balance?
Right.
That's where we need to get back to the tribe mentality, and Black women have got to stick together because it takes a village to raise a child. So we were not designed to be 15 places at one time. We were designed to have 15 women ready to do the same job and know exactly all the same way how to get it done correctly, so that there was no bickering or competition or jealousy, because we're all carrying equal weight, because we all have the same goal of making sure that our young is raised up into warriors so that they're not slaves.
Sparta.
Yes, 100%. I stand by that.
And I believe it. I believe that concept so true. I know I hold it near and dear to my heart.
You know what? I agree with that concept, but see, here's where the problem gonna come in at. You gonna have at least one out of them in that community from this side of the earth, being in the US of A, we descended of slaves. It's gonna be at least one little ninja out that whole crew that's gonna be like, you know what, that sounds too much like polygamy. That sounds too much like you being sister wives. Somebody ain't gonna get down with that program because they done been taught and told that it's only one man for one woman, and we ain't about to share. We ain't gonna share when it comes to the raising of the children. We ain't gonna share this man. We ain't gonna share it, period, point blank and simple. So it sounds wonderful, you know, that's the old way, but traditionally here in America, it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen because there's just gonna be some jealousy and envy somewhere at the end of the damn day.
It already is.
And you ain't gonna be able to put you bring up the idea of more than one woman in the same damn household and with one man, and everybody gonna lose their rabbit ass damn mind. That's the
I
truth.
watch those shows, just the dynamics. They're very interesting how these women have no minds of their own. And as soon as they get that mindset, they want to leave because they start feeling jealousy and emotion because he spent the night with the other wife and it wasn't her night. And it's like, it's just crazy. Like I watched him and I'm like, he seems to be tired and just going from wife to wife to wife, hearing all her issues and about all the kids. And I'm like, that's a crazy life. Like you have 4 wives and you're trying to satisfy all these women. And I don't know.
Can't do it.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Can you speak on what about when women flip it around? Was like, well, how about we have two men in the household and when they try to flip the script? And to me, it's like, you know, it doesn't, the dynamic of how that energy work, it don't really, it's harder for it to work like
There's
that.
only one alpha. I get
Let me
it.
tell you something. It ain't when a woman say some shit like that, she just trying to throw some shit back in your face to get you to be standing like, oh hell no, I ain't gonna let you have no 2 men. That's some old damn Jedi mind trick bullshit at the end of the damn day. Cause she done got pissed off because you done invited her to the idea she got to have a damn threesome with another female. That bitch don't want to share that dick with nobody else but you. And so at the end of the damn day, that's her way of coming back at you with some old fuck shit and say, well, you know what, if that be the case, I want 2 men. And 9 times out of 10, she
Exactly.
might
Tit for
want
tat.
2 men. Don't get me wrong now, because there's some women that's their fantasy and that's their thing. But at the end of the day, she really just want one.
Right.
And that's the one that she started with and committed to. That's some old fuck shit right there. So don't even be stressed or worried about it. In other words, do unto to others as you would have done unto you. So if you don't want her to be thrown in your face and trying to go out here and find her some extra
Exactly.
wham around, don't be
don't get
damn
caught.
telling her. Don't be telling her you want to have a damn threesome. You want another woman? Shit.
Oh shit.
But what if we ain't even talking about a threesome? What if we just talking about just nation building, just on the strength
There
of like,
are some women that do
can
live
tell
with
you.
2 men.
So all
She
I can-
ain't going for that because European standards has told her it's monogamy. It's 1+1. It ain't no 1+2 more. She ain't about to do all that now. You know good and daggone well you ain't seen no woman that's sit up here and be actually advocating for polygamy. You ain't seen no female really on no social media
No,
sit up
there's
here.
a couple, but it's
There's a
not,
few, but
yeah,
not
it's not a
many.
lot.
It's usually a man that's the one that's hollering about he ain't gonna be monogamous. You don't hear no woman hollering that bullshit. I mean, let's keep it 1,000.
What
I
man?
advocate for it.
Why? His wife, or I'm sorry, his brother died, and he took his brother's wives. Like he had 3, the brother had 2. The brother passed away, so he brought the other 2 over, and it was crazy. They were sisters. Yeah, I was like, wow.
So Russell in our Facebook Live says, where do you draw the line to where you don't beat yourself up, checking yourself without wrecking yourself? Oh, okay, in the process. And then he says something that just kind of caught my eye. Empaths fall the hardest because we put others before ourselves, you know, in most sense of the word. We will give up our asshole and shit through our ribs for a motherfucker. We really would, you know, we would go like to the distance and we will hurt ourselves in the process. And yeah, empaths do take a hard blow in all of this. And they own, I think they really own their shit because they know they've put themselves in a position to accept it.
okay, so let me ask you this. When 2 empaths are in a relationship and it doesn't work, why is it?
You know what? I've never been in a relationship with another empath. I've always been in relationships with men that dismissed my feelings, always told me, you know, feelings don't matter. I hear that a lot from men. And I think it's because
Empath.
they don't want to deal with the feelings and the emotions. They always want to pull that out of the equation. But the emotions and the feelings are real. And so I can't recall being in a relationship with an empath because I'd still be with that person because we would genuinely be concerned about each other's well-being in the relationship. I don't think I've ever been tangled up
I
with.
don't know what an empath is. I've never heard of that.
Well, being empathetic is putting yourself in someone else's position, usually putting someone else before you. Like you would consider someone else's feelings always before yours.
Oh, that would be me. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I've never heard that word before, but now I know.
Yeah, you know. And you up in that month of July, so I know you got some of that in you.
Yeah, I'm definitely more Cancer though. I'm only a Leo when I'm mad. If I'm mad,
That-
you know.
That's right.
But other than that, I'm harmless and loving and no fighting and stopping conflict, all of that.
He said narcissism is my defense mechanism. I need Russell to step up to the plate. Ass here so I could throw you a fastball. What? Miss Wendy,
Yes.
what's wrong with these fools?
I don't know because he said you was a narcissistic individual.
He said narcissism is his defense mechanism. That means he probably
So is he saying he's a narcissist?
Yes. He said his
Okay.
defense mechanism. That's his superpower.
Well, you know what? I just said earlier that narcissists do exist. So you just get and there's more men that's narcissists than females. So, and at the end of the day, it's not necessarily his defense mechanism, but then again, it is. But that's just who he is, and he'll never change. And there's no cure for a narcissistic individual. There's no cure for him. You can't give him no medication, no nothing. That's just their personality.
Yeah, I read a self-help book on that, and it was crazy because no matter
Yeah,
what you do, it's like you enable them.
you
So it's
do.
almost, you just have to get away from
Because
it.
it's about control. They love to gaslight you.
Mhm.
Oh
They
God,
they they'll
smoke.
gaslight you quick, and some of them you have to look for the signs. Sometimes they'll love bomb your ass. There's all kinds of. But see, let me tell y'all. Lord, let me
Hold
set up
on,
right quick.
let me
I
interject
know
this real
somebody
quick.
personally that's a narcissist. That joker look for ways to try to irritate my soul every chance she get.
She
She
said,
do. She
"So
irritate my soul every chance she gets. She'll hold on to some shit that happened 20 motherfucking damn years ago. And you'll bring that shit up just so you can try to irritate my soul. And it'll be something just the most minute thing that you ain't even thought nothing about, but she's still holding on to it so she can try to use that against you on down the road. That's how some of the narcissistic people are. And it's a damn shame, but it's the truth that they use whatever they can to try to inflict and have you walking around making you think there's something wrong with you when it really ain't nothing wrong with you. It's
right,
them.
wasn't
They
I
like to play mind games. They
Yeah,
like to play mind games and
especially
have you walk around
young.
like, did I really think that shit? But no, it wasn't you. You try to plant a damn seed to have me thinking I'm crazy.
Right,
And I might be a little slight touch, but I ain't that damn touched. But you
right.
have to learn how to deal with a narcissist. You have to play the game back
Oh
with
yeah,
them.
just keep your mouth
You got
shut.
to be
You know
crazy with it, right?
Yeah, you gotta learn how to play the game back with a narcissist. See, sometimes you gotta shut it down without shutting it down. What I mean is sometimes you got to go silent on their ass. You
Yeah,
got to let them think they don't won that round. You sometimes you just have to be like, I'm gonna let you have it today. I ain't in the mood.
Exactly.
Sometimes you just have to play the mind games back with them and just shut it down and be like, Cause see, one thing I know and two things for certain, a motherfucker can't argue about themselves. And a lot of times they try to get a reaction out of you, which is a negative reaction. So therefore, sometimes you have to learn how to just shut the fuck up, be like, and agree with them. That'll piss them off more than anything is when you start to agree with them.
no
It
win,
will.
no win. Yep.
So, oh, is it safe to say that a narcissist has accountability issues?
Heck
They'll
yeah.
never be accountable. They
Ownership.
don't know what that is.
Where it
Damn,
is.
okay, I just asked.
No,
That is
but I'm giving you an honest answer. A person who's narcissistic, they don't really have much of
They
a
don't have
conscience, is what
control.
I'm trying to tell you.
that
And
is
so therefore, they're not going to
That's
be,
amazing.
they're never going to tell you they're sorry. That's one thing that a narcissist, they will never apologize either. You
woo.
can forget it. They ain't going to ever apologize because in their mind, they didn't do nothing wrong. See,
Yeah.
in their mind, they always right. And so whatever they have a God complex, a superiority complex. They looking at you like you beneath them and you a little pawn in a little chess game
If
that they
you look at
playing.
the description, those are exact
And you know
descriptions.
what? If you Google, yes, if you Google that, if you Google narcissist
Identical.
right now,
God likes it.
they have a list like it's like 37 fucking bullet points long.
He has 10 of them,
Mm,
so it's okay. I can stay with him. He has 10 of the 20, so we're good.
I think no, seriously, I'm not even lying. That checklist is about 20,
mm.
20 something deep, 21
Yeah.
something fucking traits of a narcissist. And you'd be like, whoa.
Yeah, I got a book on that, and that's the whole thing. And I'm reading it, and it's like they tell you how feeding in and codependency and, walk away from
Yes.
even if you
And,
know.
and they have a perception of themselves of grandeur. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like they don't do. I'm trying to tell you, they don't do no wrong. I this
They don't.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do this. So anything that you do, they're gonna always see themselves and compare themselves in that situation, and they're gonna always try to make themselves look a little bit better than the person that they're talking about or they dealing with. So, and for instance, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do this, but they looking at that individual as if they're beneath them because they may do those things. So they'll try to find ways to put somebody else down to make themselves feel better about they fucked up bullshit and the way they think about themselves. They have God complexes.
Yes.
You know what? They can cry on a drop of a dime. I don't care if it's a male or a female. I had a narcissistic boyfriend, and that fool, I would turn my back and turn around, and he would be tears.
And then say something slick out his mouth 5 minutes later.
And then
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden the tears are gone and he's back yelling at
Tears
Like,
stop moving after a while. You don't care. Like, go ahead, cry. I want you to cry.
what's wrong with you? And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, God. And I'm like, I can't deal with the switch up. And that is the one thing about
It's scary because you don't know where they're gonna go with it.
I don't know where
Like,
they're
Y'all do.
can he
They
come
gonna keep on and keep on till they get a reaction out of you.
the one with
And you just have to go through it and just be like, you know what, not today, Satan, not today.
yeah.
Cause I deal with it all the time. I just be looking like, okay, I see you trying to get me crunk up. And so some days I'll be like, you know what, I ain't gonna let you. But then on those days where I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna give you what you're asking for. Then the first thing you ready to holler about, well, I didn't mean no. So they'll start making excuses and then try to backpedal and all that extra bullshit. No, bitch, you asked for it, and here it is. I'm gonna give you what you want. See, sometimes you have to give them what they want and keep it moving. Yeah, and settle them down for a
But
little
you have to
bit.
be careful because they will turn it around on you and make you think that you were in the wrong when you
But you
start.
know what? When you know thyself, see, this is the thing of a baby girl. Now, I when you know thyself, when you don't took time to do the work and you know yourself, you won't allow folk to get under your skin like that. When you see crazy coming, you start getting across the damn street. You be like, you know what? I see crazy. It's on the way. It's turned that damn corner. Let
Yep.
me move on out the way and let crazy keep on walking past me. When
Yeah.
you know
When they say
you'll
hi
draw a
to you.
line in the damn sand. You don't let a motherfucker get on your damn nerves and have that much control over
Exactly.
you.
Nope, you can
You
tell by the
won't.
say hi to you if you're gonna have a good day with them or not. Just the way
I'll
they
burn the road up.
hello.
I do. When I see that person, because Lord, it was last week. I had to hang up on the motherfucker. He just kept on and I told him, I said, look, sir, I said, stop using that word. And he decided he was gonna keep on using it anyway.
Oh,
I said, sir, please stop using that word. I said, it's a trigger for me. I said, I can't explain to you why it's a trigger, but it's a trigger. I don't like it, and I appreciate if you would just, have enough respect for me to just stop using that word. He gonna try to give me a definition of the damn word. I don't give a fuck where it came from. I could care less where it came from, it originated. I don't give a damn about all that. What I'm saying to you is have enough respect because I just told you it's a trigger. So they let me know right then and there that that person is narcissistic as hell and slightly bipolar. Because if I tell you that something triggers me, if I tell you that it makes me just cringe, then you keep on doing it. That tells me you disrespect what I just said. You disrespect me and what I'm feeling. So therefore, we're gonna have a problem. So he kept on. I said, you know what, honey? I said, I got to let you go. I said, because I see right now, me and you on two different levels of life. And I ain't gonna sit up here and allow you to keep on being disrespectful because see, you doing it on purpose now. If I told you the first damn time, I should never have to keep telling you the same thing more than once. So therefore, I had to hang the damn phone up in his ear. I sure did. I had to hang up because I'm not gonna sit there and tolerate somebody who gonna keep on doing something that I just asked you not to damn do. And then you want to justify, well, this is the origins of that word and I don't give a fuck. I don't want to hear it. So therefore, I had to go on ahead and draw a line in the sand and cut them off. And that's what you have to learn to do. When you see trouble coming, go on ahead and cross the damn street. Why stand there in its path and let it destroy your mental? No, because I told him, I said, you
now that's
depressing as hell.
accountability before it
Yeah,
even
he was depressing. Girl, he
before it
was
even starts.
everything was doom and gloom. The whole, and I told him, I said, bro, I said, you depressing me. It's 9, 10 o'clock at night. I don't want to go to bed with this bullshit on my mind that ain't got a damn thing to do with me. I can't solve none of these damn issues. People gonna do what the fuck they want to do. Why you want to damn talk to me about death? I said, I got to get off the phone with you because you killing me. You killing me. I can't deal with it. You just made me just want to do and fight you. That's what he really wanted me to do. He just made me want to fight him. But I realized that he was narcissistic. He was trying to evoke that in me because you just wouldn't let up. You just wouldn't let up. And whatever he was going through, you ain't gonna take this shit out on me. I don't give a fuck. Deal with your bullshit on your time, not on mine.
So
You gotta.
how long before you knew? Did you say your ex-husband or boyfriend? You were in a relationship?
I ain't never been married. You know,
Okay.
All right, my bad, my
Silly.
bad.
We don't do that.
But you did say you dated somebody that was narcissistic, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Fucking.
So did you know, how long did you know? Because it was 5 years, right?
No, this wasn't him. This wasn't him. This crazy man I met in church.
Oh shit.
Them the worst ones.
Them the ones. The
Them the
sheep,
worst ones.
or wolf in sheep's clothing. Right? So I met him in church. He approached me in the bookstore. I was going to go get a CD from the service, and he approached me in the gift store, tapped me on my shoulder, and I turned around and he backed away from me and gave me my space. He said, "Good morning, woman of God." He said, "My name is such and such, and if you don't mind, when you're done with your purchase, I'd like to work with you."
Mocha. That sounds just like Satan, girl. You should have been ready.
The thing about it is he was sitting on the end of the aisle from me during service. So I'd made eye contact with this fool a couple times. But anyways, it didn't take me long to figure out that he has some level of crazy to him. The man tried to kill me 3 times in a week and a half.
What?
Like he legit tried to kill me 3 times within an 8-day period.
That's a week. We just supposed to have a black week. That ain't a week and a half.
That's
And
crazy.
when I say it was weird, like narcissistic behavior, he did not understand that he wanted me to do something and get over my daughter's death. And here it is, she is just a year gone, and it was her birthday, her first birthday, heavenly birthday. And he wanted me to be about whatever he was doing that day. And it turned into an ugly day. I said, I'm going to work.
Mhm.
I wasn't going to go to work that day. I said, I'm going to work. He's taking me to work, and my phone rings, and it's actually my ex-boyfriend, because this dude was before him. So it's actually my ex-boyfriend calling me, checking on me, because he knows that it's my daughter's, heavenly birthday. He sees his picture show up on my phone when it was ringing, because I'm doing my makeup in the car. I'm in the passenger seat. He's taking me to work, and he sees this man's face show up on my phone. We're on the freeway doing 70. He sees that, and he slams on the fucking brakes on the freeway in traffic. Cars screeching, going around us and everything, fighting me for the phone. Got to my job, and it was like, I'm just getting out of the car trying to get in the building. He comes in the building, and security gets him up out of there. And I'm like, okay, we're not going to deal with this. So I end up leaving and going to my sister's house. My parents were here. It was Father's Day weekend. I'm spending Father's Day with my dad. Like, what the hell? We're watching the finals. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he was upset when I returned back home, because he went through my phone. In my phone, I'm texting everybody, my brother, pastors, people I know, nobody at all. Anybody that's a man in my phone, I'm hitting them up with Happy Father's Day, right? Mm-hmm. He went through my phone while I was in the shower and texted all these people and called all these people back. So when I came out of the shower, I was faced with a fight, like wrestling for my phone. So I get dressed for work, because now I'm just going to work. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm going to work. And he had a problem with me smoking. And I had legit made an effort to stop smoking. I wasn't smoking, but I always had a 911 cigarette. And this cigarette was stale. When I tell you I hadn't been smoking, this cigarette was so stale. It was sitting in my wine cabinet. And he had pushed me to the limit that day. And so I grabbed that stale ass cigarette. I go out on the patio to smoke the cigarette. He comes out there and sees a cigarette, and that was his trigger. I'm on the 2nd floor in my apartment complex. And he saw the cigarette in my hand, and he grabbed it, twisted my fingers back, and says, "What did you do to your temple, woman of God?" He flashed, right? And then he asked me, you want to dance with the devil? You like the devil? You want to see the devil? And I was like, what the hell? And I get up and I'm like trying to get back in the house, and I'm only 5'3". Like I'm small in stature, right? So he's standing over 6 feet, like 6'2". And I'm trying to go back into the patio. So mind you, I'm facing him going back into my patio. I'm going into my house. And he says, do you know how to fly?
Yeah.
And as soon as he said that, he swooped me up off my feet, and he backed me up to the rails of my patio. Now I have wrapped every bit of my legs around his waist, and I'm holding on to him, but he doesn't have on a shirt, and he's sweating because he's all riled up. So I'm scratching his back, trying to hold on to him. The only thing that saved me was the death lock I had around his waist with my legs. That's the only thing that saved me in that moment. And I was just like, put me down. Like, what are you doing, Freddie? Like, what are you doing, man? Are you crazy? Yes, you are, but like, what are you doing? And I'm not even trying to reason with this man at this point because I'm getting weak. And he got his weight bearing me over this rail. So in that moment, I said, crazy has no limit. Like, this man has no idea that he has snapped. He is somewhere else. He has checked out from this whole scene. Like, he's not even present in this moment. The man that supposedly loves me was nowhere to be seen. And my daughter came out and pretty much ended all that. She came out and, brought a butcher knife to the scene and told him to put me down, and she was gonna put it in his bag. So and she saved me that day. If she wouldn't have came, and she didn't even know because her room was on the other side of the house. If she wouldn't have came out into the kitchen and heard the ruckus on the patio, she would have never known what was going on out there. She would have just came out, and it was injury if I would have hit the ground, because the way he was putting me over backwards, I probably would have broke my neck, my back, my everything, my I would have busted everything up. I probably wouldn't be right today if he would have succeeded in throwing me over that patio with the force, because I would have fell hard. And girl, when the police came, he was telling them all kind of other stories. He told them the scratches on his back were from wild sex.
That's why he was glistening, huh? Afterglow.
He told the cops his own version of the story of what took place
in his mind.
And he figured, because he was a white man, and I was a black woman, they were going to listen to him. And he was a armed security officer, whatever, commissioned security officer, whatever, that he was in good with the boys. Well, I told them that he had a gun and he threatened my life. They asked him for his gun, and that shit was cocked and loaded. He had one in the chamber, and they asked him, they said, do you normally keep your service revolver loaded or loaded with one in the chamber? And he said, just loaded. And he goes, well, why is there one bullet in the chamber right now? So he got arrested that night. But he had tried like within that 8-day period, like 3 times to kill me.
Hey, that's crazy.
Yeah. And they got him to jail, and he called me back to back, like crying. Oh my God, you got to get me out of here. I can't.
Know how to get in there. That was his other personality.
Yes, the crying baby. I was like, you're fucking nuts, dude. You're crazy. Like,
he still around? Not your life. But
he picked me up every once in a while, and I shade him like, I don't fuck with you kind of crazy, because you're the kind of crazy that talks about, he knows the Bible front and back, so does the devil. But he
said that was the devil you was fucking with.
I said, hell, the devil half wrote it, right? He knows the Bible front and back. He carries himself in a demeanor where anybody would question the ability for him to be anything but a gentle soul. You know what I mean? And I don't know what he's doing with his life right now, but he ain't doing nothing with me. Every time he hit me up in my inbox, it's I'm good. How are you? As a matter of fact, I even sent him pictures of me. We ain't even together. I sent him a collage of me and my ex. I said, I'm doing good still with him. Crazy motherfucker, you know.
That's crazy. Wendy looks like she is on her way to.
Not quite. I'm listening.
So it's safe to say that if you guys plan on getting a relationship, you definitely do your work on what are the signs of a narcissistic person, because they do exist, and they're definitely not a person that you want to get into a relationship with.
My thing about relationships, FT, fuck that shit.
See, Keys, somebody would probably think that you were narcissistic because you don't want to be in monogamous relationships.
I've
He
took the
didn't
test.
say that. He said he just didn't want to give up his freedom of choice.
Yeah, like okay, and like I said, I
Oh,
have.
no.
Yeah, okay. So, but and I thought I could be too when I was getting the list read off. I was like, okay, that could be me.
Oh, you read the list of them?
All right, that could be me. And I was like, okay, that's not me. And so, you know what I'm saying? I may got like 30% of them, but that's not enough.
30% is what? 3 questions out of 10?
20.
Let's see, who's this over here? Oh, Ma, well, you mighty quiet. What's your take on it?
You over there
I
creating
mean,
you don't see him
what's toxic for you as far as like for a female? So I don't know your status, whatever. But let's just say, for instance, you out there in the dating pool. What is a toxic trait that you see often in a female?
Man, a very argumentative. That to me, like when you just, I got an issue with people like when you're in a relationship, you say you see both sides, but you don't really break down your level of saying, like, to me, if you see both sides, if you're a person of balance and you say, man, well, you know, and it's okay, like you can be stuck in your way, like, man, this is where I'm at right now. Cause I truly believe your present, your past will contradict your present as you grow. So if you stand on that today and we growing, you gotta admit that, like, hey, I was wrong. Like I didn't see it like that. So sometimes what I find out is like people get in arguments, or I don't like a person who, what's the best way to put it? Because it's two folds to what I'm trying to say. I think the biggest thing is just kind of going back and forth, saying that you see a person's point of view, but you can't really break down their understanding and what you see. You just saying like, oh yeah, I see it from that way, but still, you know, da da da. But then when you ask them, like, you know, elaborate, how do you, by you saying that you understand, there's a way in the conversation to show that you understand, because you can kind of mirror that understanding, I guess. And so when you avoid that, like when you're looking for that answer, you avoid it. I feel like a person just saying that, and that's a narcissistic personality type, because to me, you know, when you're trying to convey that you understand, there's still a line of communication. Because I like to go a little bit further. Some people say, well, that's a little bit over talking. That should be already understood. Nah, you can't just assume that a person understands. So I go off of like, if we face to face and I feel like you ain't really receiving it, I'm gonna cut it another way for you to see if that sits well with you. So I don't know. I think that's been my biggest struggle moving forward. Now, I done met a lot of women. Now we can disagree, and ain't even know we ain't gonna go back and forth. It'd be like it's a level like, man, I understand that, but just based on my experience, they'll break it down. I haven't experienced where you at now, so I know that might have been drawn out just a little bit, but that's one of my biggest hiccups, because I can agree to disagree. It ain't like I'm in a place like in my life, like once I figured out and understood the ego, how it's really a parasite and it really impedes on your natural self, because it's really about me, and you actually leave out everybody else around you, or you know, the ego create addictions. You know, it'll create this certain type of thing that you desire, and so you start forgetting those things that are really important. And so when I start removing myself and start sitting still, start understanding the ego, I start really understanding a lot more. And I start realizing, you know what? It ain't even about me being right. It ain't even about them being right. It's really about us just understanding each other. And taking that approach makes me feel a lot better because it's like, man, cool. And that's okay that you feel that way. Like I'm really, when I say that, I mean that shit sincerely. Like if a person feel a certain type of way and they disagree with me, like I really feel like that's okay. Cause now we understand. I see why you don't see it the way I see. I see how we got to where it look like we chasing our tails. But you know, if that person on the other side was an understanding person, they would be in the same position that I am in my thinking. So I kind of just go back to the four agreements. You know what I mean? That's how I keep myself balanced in my understanding. It's just not like going back and forth. I can agree to disagree a lot of times because I'm a student. I want to learn anyway. And I think each individual person that you deal with, you're in the school with them, you learning from them. And then all those perspectives is what allows you to get to that place you want to be in life and dealing with people.
That's what's up.
Okay.
Like that. I don't mean to be nosy or nothing, but that's a Dr. Serby in the background I see.
Yeah, Dr. Sabi. Yeah.
Is that for sale?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to you offline on that.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to snatch that up before.
Yeah, it's got one of them hot. It's got a nice one of them real nice frames. It's heavy. You know what I mean? So yeah.
I like
Where
that.
did Nikki go?
Let me check.
I see the picture up there, but I don't see her.
Yeah. I guess she don't have. I guess she keep toxic relationships away.
Hey Wendy, I ain't gonna lie, man. I was telling Keith, I like, man, Wendy done grew on me. Like, I like, no, for real. Like when I first seen one of your videos, I was just warming up to you. So I'm type of person like I don't want to prejudge nothing. So I was like, this woman, she dope as hell. Like I'm just sitting here live and I'm like, okay. And then I started doing a little bit of research. I said, I see why Wendy. Okay, Wendy, yeah, I'm rocking with you. I just, I think you're good. Just man, when I think about some of the conversations you and Keith might even have, I'm like, damn, this is. I think it's dope. The world this is what I'll be saying. Like, man, all these different perspectives really help at the end of the day.
Yeah, she gave you the thunk in your head or step on your toe. Like she will make you think about like.
Well, I thank
Yeah,
y'all.
And that's what I was telling Keith. I was like feeling their energy.
Mhm.
And I was telling him like, you and Wendy have like this energy that can go on and on and on and on. Y'all can talk about anything. Y'all talk about anything, and you're more engaged in the conversation. Like you see, he sits here up in his Hollywood Square box up there, and he says some things and he does some things, but at the end of the day, like when I don't know, Wendy drives conversation out of him, the comments
It's very controversial, and it makes it a
and he eye candy in there for the ladies, so he bringing in the trolls, and so the conversation is heavy, like, and I mean, I like it, and like I said, Wendy, if I need you to come in here and like spark a flame in his ass, that's what you do.
Well, I get. You know what? I don't know what's wrong with me. I just be.
Well,
I'm so
I watch it
sad.
at work, Wendy, and I have to turn it down. I work in a nursing home.
Because you know what? I'm gonna be honest with y'all that most of the time, 99 point, I ain't gonna tell that lie either, but I will say 90% of the time, I'm not a cusser. But as soon as I get on Facebook Live, I can't help it. The ancestors be like, just cuss, just say some cuss words. And I just got to say it, and I get passionate about it, depending on what topic it is. And so it just rolls out, and I be trying, but but what I have learned.
You got a flag on the field.
So what? Huh?
Podcast is about ownership. I'm gonna make you own some shit. They call me.
Yeah, I mean,
they call me the fact checker. I'm the fact.
And that's fine. You can fact check me all day long. Cause see, you know what?
I remember in our podcast titles and labels, and you said, I can't be no minister because I like to cuss too damn much.
I do. I can't help it. But see, here's the thing. I'm gonna tell you something about Wendy. I walk in my truth though. So I'll tell you straight out the gate. If I did it, I'm gonna look at you and tell you I did it. And then the next thing I'm gonna ask you is what you gonna do about it. See, that's the thing of that's what people hate about me, because I'm gonna ask you what you gonna do about it. If I did it, I did it. If I said it, I said it. I don't backtrack. I am who I am. And most of the time I don't come with breaks. And so I think that's the problem with me, is that because I used to be, let me sit up for a brief second. I got to get this off my chest. Y'all done got me crunk up now.
But it's not a problem. You got to realize that it's not a problem. It's who you are. And people have to take you as you are or don't take you at all. You can't go to a store and change.
But y'all already know my motto. I don't be giving up. See, I'm trying not to do a whole lot of cussing on y'all's podcast because I'm trying to be respectful. But when I get over there on my platform, I don't give a damn. I cuss because it is what it is. Because we all got a little cuss in us. And I need people to understand that, you know, there's a difference between cussing and cursing. So I'm going to break that down. Now, we all, even in the Bible, they had bad words in the Bible. They would call you a viper, which is a snake. So and they would call you a donkey, which is another word for calling you an asshole. So at the end of the day, they had their cuss words even 2,000 years ago to describe and, you know, call somebody something. So when I say motherfucker, this, that, and the third, it is what it is. It just answer to the call and keep on moving. But if I was to sit up here and curse you, which means if I was to say go to hell, you know, in a handbasket or whatever, if I told you that, you know, you ain't shit, you ain't gonna never be shit, and you need to go on to hell, then that means I'm cursing you. I'm cursing you to something. I'm putting some bad mojo on your name and on your life and on your energy force. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But if I'm just cussing, 9 times out of 10, I can't help it. It just rolls out my mouth. And some people, it just makes some cussable situations, and you just got to cuss them out. See, let me tell you, the spirit, the ancestors just whispered in my ear. And so, see, this is the problem with a lot of folk. We hide and we bullshit too damn much. We need to cuss a motherfucker out today, because tomorrow ain't promised to you. You need to let folk know when they done stepped and crossed that line, because you got habitual line steppers. And this is the problem, that because we be faking and funking. We just be fake as hell when we trying to get with somebody. When you meet folk, this is that love bombing. This is that toxic bullshit. We be knowing good and damn well that I ain't got at least 40% of the shit that you looking for. But I'm gonna tell you that I do, and I'm gonna make it look like I do for the first 90 days. And I'm gonna bring the representative, and I'm gonna, oh good God Almighty, I'm gonna jump off the damn dresser. I'm gonna be taking some wanging thing down the back of my damn throat. Or I'm gonna do all kinds of shit that I think that's what it's gonna take to get you so involved. You know, with, like Al Green said, I'm so in love with you. Ooh, y'all know what I'm saying. At the end of the damn day, what you say, baby?
I said for 90 days.
For 90 days, because that representative is gonna leave after 90 days. Now that's true. Now, if nothing else, you pay attention. The first 90 days is that honeymoon stage, and people are doing everything and saying everything that they think that you need to hear in order to get you in. So once they've locked you in, then the real person emerges and the representative walks away. And this is why you got to be careful in them first 90 days. People will tell you who they are. You just got to pay attention. But a lot of times we done got so enamored and we done got all so excited. Ooh, this is the one. You just met the motherfucker today, but you read it in your mind and already walked him down the aisle. Ain't don't know the real him just yet. But give him 90 days and he gonna show you, or she is gonna show you who they truly are.
So to answer your question, Keys, you said how long did it take me to find out that crazy was crazy? So we met on Valentine's Day. By June 8th is when he let go of his crazy.
Wow.
But I saw it coming.
About
like
3 good months.
He was agitated.
90 days.
He was
But when you saw it coming, why did you stay around, baby girl? That's what I need to know. What possessed you?
Girl, I didn't know what was wrong with him, because he kept on having these neck jerking episodes, and he would just be like, I'm good, I'm okay. It's work. I just got a lot of work on my mind. Woo!
Honey, let me tell you something.
So
And
now,
You can't hide crazy. I don't care where you go. You can't hide crazy. Crazy gonna show up. And the thing of it, and that's what I was getting back to again. Crazy gonna show up. You can't hide it. No matter where you go in life, you gonna show up. So that's what I'm saying. And as women, we be seeing the crazy, but did you get some of that wangama thing? And that's what drove you nuts. That's what, cause see, when we get to having sex with a motherfucker, that's where our mind get all fucked up. Because now we in love with the dick. We ain't in love with him. We in love with the dick. Because you know, some of us ain't had nobody to touch on us for a while, and then we get, I just don't want to be lonely. Ooh, and that wangama thing get to sing and tell you. Next thing you know, and you up there, you know that motherfucker crazy as hell. You don't need that in your life, but because he got some wangama thing and a smile, we'll put up with some old bullshit. And swear out we in love with a motherfucker. No, you ain't. You in love with that dick. You dickmatized.
Listen, we did not live together. Okay, so
it don't matter.
No, I'm gonna say like this. I heard Keith give a little equation, and like if you talk to somebody for 2 months, you talk to them for an hour a day, that's like 60 fucking hours. You know what I mean? That's a little bit more than 2 days you've really communicated with this person. So bear in mind, I'm gonna give you that breakdown of the same fucking math. Like, I didn't have enough time to observe his crazy. I knew he was agitated. Something was wrong. I felt it in my something was wrong, and I kept asking him, "Are you okay?" I kept trying to make shit like bright for him, shitting unicorns and rainbows out my ass. I don't know. I was trying to bring sunshine in his life because I didn't know what was wrong with him, and he wasn't saying. He was on a verge of a meltdown, is what he was, because he had stopped taking his medication.
Damn.
He had just got hit by a freight elevator, so he done got his head hit now on top of his fucking natural born crazy. He done got busted upside the head with a freight elevator. So now he's dealing with that injury, the lawsuit, and all the bullshit. Now his crazy done took a whole tilt, and it was a little bit more than 90 days. It was a little bit more than 90 days. But the whole time we're running around trips, we're doing humanitarian stuff, cleaning up houses and yards for fucking pastors and stuff. We doing all kind of shit, driving 5 hours to go to church every week in Dallas to be around his bishop. We doing all this good shit. And he was tilting on crazy, and I didn't see it because guess what? Everything looked perfect. I'm going to work, he going to work. We come together after that. And all of a sudden he flipped. And when I say he flipped a switch, like nonstop, he flipped a switch. And once he flipped that switch, it was nonstop. And I'm telling you, I didn't have time to respond. I didn't even have time to do anything. I'm running to the courthouse getting a restraining order, but he don't give a fuck about none of that.
That motherfucker didn't flip the switch. That motherfucking switch was already on. Right. It was already on, but I'm gonna need you to take some ownership because at the end of the day, you
accountability.
No. I'm gonna take full ownership on this one, and I'm accountable for the fact because I should have been fucking around with a white man in the first place.
It ain't even about being a white man, because all men are crazy. If you want no damn truth about it, all of them got a little crazy in them.
No. I wouldn't have put myself in that position to see the shit that I see on the fucking murder mystery channels if I wasn't dealing with a crazy ass white man. I can deal with crazy ass black men because I just turn up my crazy on their ass.
And that's the problem. Everybody trying to prove they crazy, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna tell you the truth of the matter. You dropped your self-esteem for whatever reason for that individual.
I was in a situation where I needed a relationship, and it was like accidental because we were going to Bible study, just seeing each other at Bible study in church, and then he was just so charming, like they are. And I was not trying to be in a relationship with this man. I was not looking for a relationship at the time. I had just lost my daughter. I'd relocated out here to start a new life. A relationship was not what my grieving heart was looking for at the time. So understand me when I say this, Ms. Wendy, I was not looking for this crazy man to be in my life. I was in church trying to find healing for my grief, and this man approached me. He befriended me. He showed me a compassionate side of him and understood the grief that I was going through. And like I said, like the devil, he was all well versed in the Bible. He was able to pull scriptures out. healing scriptures out of the Bible, and not just tell me, oh, memorize this. No, he would just talk to me and soothe me with his word.
Well, you know what they say. You got to be careful about what you ask for. You ask God for, some healing. You ask God whether you realize or not, you was asking the universe to send somebody to help me get through my grieving. And so that's what he did.
You just gave me goosebumps because he said those same words to me when he helped me get over my healing. He goes, you were praying for healing for your daughter, weren't you? And he took me to some scripture, girl, I forgot. He took me to some scripture and he was pretty much telling me when you pray in faith that God is going to answer your prayer, blah, blah. And I was praying for my daughter. She was praying for herself. We had a good portion of the universe praying for her. She got a fan page. She was viral. She's still viral, 6 years gone. Everybody was praying for her, but we were praying for healing. And that healing came on the other side. And that's when he helped me understand you cannot be mad because yes, you all prayed for healing. That was the best that can be done for your daughter, was for her to go on. That cancer wasn't going to leave her alone. And that man helped me understand for the first time the grief that I was going through and the fact that I was so in religiously wrapped up in everything, and I got mad at God and turned away from the church and all that. And my daughter left church. She used to get mad if we missed church, wake me up every morning. Mommy, let's go, let's go. We get there late. We missed praise and worship, Mommy. Now she mad, don't want to hear the sermon, but then she get into the sermon. You know what I mean? So she made me better. So when people don't understand my grief, it's because I had a little angel that made me like something better. She made me better. And like I said, when I lost her and I moved away from California, came here, I meet this man 6 months into being here, and he helped me understand my grief in a biblical sense, in a spiritual sense. He was able to help me cope and deal with some of my grief, but he was crazy. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you know what though? Crazy has its purpose and its use. Just cause they crazy don't, those are the most intellectual people. Crazy.
Well,
that you know what I'm saying? They real talk. You look at your psychopath killers and what have you. They're very intelligent. They're crazy as hell, but they're very intelligent. And see, at the end of the day, in order for you to get wherever you got to go in life, sometimes you have to be a little crazy. Because see, crazy will give you some courage. Sometimes you got to embrace crazy. It's crazy. I'm trying to tell you, if you didn't have a little bit of crazy in us, or he didn't have a little crazy, he wouldn't be able to get to you. See, he needed to be able to get to you. Because even though he might have been crazy and did some crazy acts on down the road, but he did serve a purpose. He was able to get you to, get to another level than where you were. So he kept you from being redundant. He kept you from being stagnant. He gave you some positive words. He gave you some positive energy, even in that crazy. I know it don't sound good now, but you have to, when in any relationship, I don't care, every relationship is going to come to an end, whether God called one of you home or whether you're going to come to the realization that, it just ain't going to work. But at the end of the day, everyone will come to the end. But you have to look at the good parts of what drew you to that person to start with. And even though, yes, at the end of the day, it might not work out. And if it don't work out, that's fine. But at the end of the day, just relish on the good parts that person gave you, because it's an experience. You feel what I'm saying? And that's just with any relationship. I don't care, the past, moving forward, what have you. We got to learn how to meet people where they're at. And understand that people come in your life for a reason or a season. And that was a season that he came into your life. It was a season because he needed to come in and give you some jewels. He needed to teach you some lessons on whatever it was. And so therefore, when his time was up, it didn't matter at the end of the day, when his time was up with you, he was going to leave you regardless. You were going to leave him. He wasn't meant to be there forever. And that's what we got to understand sometimes. Some people are just meant to come through your life, teach you some valuable lessons, and for us to let them go when it's time to let them go. You don't hold on to them. Learn what you need to learn and keep it moving. What you say over there, Karma? Because I feel like you said something slick at the side of your mouth. What you say?
No, I didn't say nothing slick. I was agreeing with you. I was like, they don't know how to let go. They don't know when
you gotta let go.
But
you gotta let that shit go.
Because We don't let shit flow naturally. That's the
Mm-mm.
problem. We take a
You
hold
gotta
of it,
experience people.
control it, and motherfucking wrangle it.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna make him.
Because
I'm
we
gonna
don't want to, it be feeling so good to us, and it's mine, mine, mine. I'm not sharing it because it's mine, mine, mine. And you get caught up in that euphoric feeling and yada, 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 yada. But at the end of the day, again, like I said before, and I'm going to keep preaching it. Matter of fact, when I go live on Tuesday, I'm going to cuss them out again. But that's beside the point. You got to learn to let stuff go and let folk go. When their time is up, you got to let them go. Experience whatever it is that you need to experience with an individual. And whatever it might be, because people come in your life to teach you something. See, and if you keep going through the same patterns and the same type of people, that means that you ain't learned the lesson yet. That means that God is still having to keep popping your damn hand until he gets your attention, and for you to finally figure out whatever it is that he needed you to learn. And once you learn that, you learn yourself. You already learned the things that you're going to deal with and things that you won't deal with. You'll learn your tolerance and how crazy you might actually be. Because see, it's hard for us to step outside of ourselves and see how we react and how we treat folks as well. We always quick want to blame somebody else. Well, it's so-and-so fault because they did this to me. It's so-and-so fault because they said that to me. Sometimes you need somebody to say some shit to you. Sometimes you need people to take you through some things, because how else is you going to appreciate when you do find that happiness? How else is you going to appreciate and know what it is that you're supposed to be doing if you don't ever go through some shit? Appreciate when somebody take you through some things, but we understand when they start taking you through, there's a threshold. Draw a line in the damn sand when it's enough is enough, and keep it moving. Don't look back. Don't be like Lot's wife and turn around and looking back at the past and turn it to a pillar of salt. Don't be salty, bitch. Keep it moving.
I'm with you on that, because like I feel like for me, just walking away from situations is okay for me. I'm okay with the no. But my thing is, I like to remain friends, and it has to come to the ramp down. It has to come to a ramp down, and sliding into the friend zone, being comfortable with that, controlling existing feelings for someone, and moving forward in a relationship that is just a friendship. You know what I mean? Reaching to a different dynamic of the relationship. So I'm okay with the no.
They're just not. Their dynamics were never meant for them to be
for me.
in a relationship, so they can't even be friends sometimes.
And by doing that, you are completely ignoring the reason and the season philosophy. Because if that dynamic changed, it was supposed to. They like, instead of giving them a different job, they may not need to be working for this company at all.
See,
we position people in our life all the time.
You look at it as a business. I look at it as a tree. I look at friendship as a tree. There are some people in my life that are rooted in my life that I've known for a good portion of my life. I may not see them, interact with them all the time, but I know that these people are considered the roots of my friendship tree. These are people that are a part of supporting me. You know what I mean? These are people that have been there for my growth. Okay. And then I have these branches, these people that have come along in my life. I like to call them acquaintances, and they come along, but they're just like with the seasons. If the wind blows just a little bit, the branch might break. You know what I mean? If they're not sturdy enough for it, if they're not in my life like that, they might fall off. And then I have friends that are leaves. That I'm sure are guaranteed to fall off. And I don't get too attached to those.
So they're not friends. So those are not friends.
They're not friends. But I'm talking about a friendship tree. If I'm talking about this tree, then the leaves represent those people that have come through, and I've scoped them out, and they didn't pass the sniff test. You know what I mean? And I mean, the slightest breeze, they're gone. They're falling off. So I like to keep it like that. And I mean, when you say I'm going against the season and the reason or whatever, I feel like people are in your life for a lesson or a blessing at the end of the day. And I can find a blessing. Like I said, when leaving my relationships, I like to leave healthy. I'm cool with all of my I'm cool with all of my exes except for 3 in all of my life.
I hear you, but sometimes that's not always possible.
It's not always
Yeah.
possible. Sometimes you got to leave a relationship. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get up off here and let y'all have the rest of it. But sometimes you got to leave relationships, friendships, work. I don't give a damn what it is. Sometimes, and don't look for an apology. Stop waiting for a damn apology, or somebody got to keep explaining to you why it didn't work or why this thing gonna do what it need to do. Sometimes you just need to shut the damn door and be on with your life. Stop sitting around waiting on somebody to keep explaining why they did what they did to you. They knew what the fuck they were doing to you when they did it. So therefore, you handed me the scissors to cut you off, you got to fucking go. I don't need you to keep explaining and keep on pulling the scab back, telling me why, and I got to keep sitting there going over and over in my head, well, why you didn't want to be with me, why you treated me this way. Because they could and they did. And at the end of the damn day, it's how I choose to deal with that person from that day forward. I'll cut your ass off. I ain't got to damn speak to you again. I ain't got to deal with that bullshit. For what? Well, I need you to keep apologizing and telling me the same bullshit over and over and over again. We ain't getting nowhere. Sometimes I don't need to be friends with a motherfucker. Because if they valued the friendship, if they valued the relationship, we would still be cool. You wouldn't have did the shit you did to me to start with. So what I need you to keep on going over and over and over and telling me, and I got to be friends with you. Fuck you. No, I ain't got to be friends with you. Fuck you, and fuck you. No, not me. If we cool, we cool. If we ain't, we ain't. Now I will say, now me and my ex-husband, we get along now better than we did when we was together. We have a mutual respect for each other. You know, you don't bother me, I don't bother you. But if we need to have a conversation, we can laugh and joke now because it's not all that expectation. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's the problem. We got all these high expectations where you did me dirty, so now you're gonna have to pay with the rest of your life kissing my ass, you know, XYZ to alleviate the pain and all that. Fuck that bullshit. You get cut off with me.
I'm calling the flag on the play. What is so different than me saying I want to remain friends with the ones that I can remain friends with, and you saying you're friends with your ex? I mean,
we got a mutual respect with each other, and we can get along now better than when we was together. But as far as like me and him being buddy friends and that kind of, no, I got to, because he's remarried now. So I have a mutual respect for him because he's the father of my children. So of course I'm going to have a little bit more tolerance for him. I spent 28 years with that person. But if it's just somebody that I dated for a little bit and it didn't work out, I don't necessarily have to feel like I got to be buddies with him because, you know, we didn't spend a whole lot of time. We didn't create a whole lot of memories together. So at the end of the day, you know, it is what it is. It was a fling, it was a fuck or whatever it was. And it just didn't work out.
We just said the same thing, okay? Like, you know, there's men that I have dealt with. Like you said, you talk to somebody a couple months trying to get to know them. They don't pass the sniff test, you move on. I'm talking about people that, you know, I've had relationships with, that I've been in relationships with. I'm able to end a relationship and maintain a friendship. What's wrong with that? Like you said, Drake, you telling me, move on, they gave you the scissors to cut you off. I mean, like, I'd rather be friends with my ex than not. I'd rather leave my relationships on an amicable note than not. And I don't necessarily need closure because the closure in my mind is that I'm walking away. I got instructions tattooed on my body, okay? Like straight up, any man I deal with that has been with me, I've got it tattooed on my body. Like when I'm leaving, the last thing they see is the goodbye on my back. So there's nothing about me that settles or puts my woman's worth on the discount shelf and the clearance rack for the first one to come grab me because I'm so broken and I'm so wounded. That's not me. Lonely, like I said, is my favorite company. I am my best company. Everybody else gets on my fucking nerves. Like I can sit up here in front of my camera and entertain a live stream and they be like really tripping off of my vibe. Like, you got this energy, you in your room. Yeah. Man, I'm cool with the quarantine. What's up? What's popping? I got a whole set on the fucking app. I got fans and shit. Now I ain't been paying attention to them in weeks. People wondering where I'm at. I went in somebody else's live and got in the box. They're throwing me gifts because I can be my own fucking entertainment. And I talk to myself and I answer back to myself.
Ooh, Lord have mercy.
Damn right.
Self.
I can
Yeah.
entertain myself. I can pick my own brain if I can't pick nobody else's. I'm a sapiosexual, so I crave to know why. I don't necessarily need closure, especially when I know that somebody has disrespected me or somebody has tried to make me feel like I wasn't worth the time of the day. I don't need no closure on that. I walk away. I'm friends. I'm cool if I see you and your next boo on the street. It's like, what's up? I'm giving you and her elbow bumps. What's popping? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with it. I don't have a problem with it.
Oh, I would say I would have a problem with it now. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. But I'm
talking to me. That's why I was answering back. I thought you were talking about me, and that's why I said what's different than what you said. I thought you were talking. About, that's why I was replying.
Well,
no. My peach margarita.
Keisha Kirkland said, I think Wendy was saying that it's about the toxicity relationships. If you can have a relationship, that's good, but if it's toxic, walk away.
Oh, I'm like, oh, it ain't nothing to cut that nigga. Oh, I'm just gone. I don't even bring life into them. I don't. I am very short. You say hi, how you doing, blah, blah, blah. It's like you see that I saw your message. I'm gonna let you see that I saw your message. If I feel like being vocal, I'll be. I mean, I can show you right now because, you know, I got receipts, fact checker. I can show you all the messages where he's hello, 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 hello since like 2019.
Can I say this? Me personally, I don't want to be friends with my ex because I feel like if you value me, you would have valued me when you had me in your presence. And if you value me even further out, like after we stop, you might have to work a little harder to get my attention on a friend level. And if you really know that, like, damn, I know I might have did some shit that did sit right with if you know me well enough, walk that journey with me, and if it opens up, because I'm the type of person, I ain't gonna stay in my feelings long, but I do want you to know, like, shit, you just ain't gonna be able to do me any way you want. So you have to earn that level of respect and love that I gave you. Because I get it. We all take shit for granted. We take our own self for granted at times. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna like give you this jab that just knock you all the way out, but I'm gonna give you enough to be like, man, back the fuck up. We cool. You go do you, I do me. But you're gonna know the difference when you deal with the world versus me. You're gonna be like, damn, this nigga wasn't even as bad as I thought he was. I was tripping. I really didn't see that. This person really loved me, though. I think people got a misunderstanding on what loyalty is. But here's what I will say too. Everybody don't value loyalty. I start realizing that. And
say it again, player. Say it again.
It's crazy because my thing is this. If I can rock with you for 8+ years, if I can, you know, take on a child that I say is mine for many years and step up as a father figure, if I can, you know, put us in situations where we win, we might not win on the level where you think we might win because that's all subjective. But if we winning and the progress is being made on my end, you can see growth. But you take all that for granted, not understanding like this person don't have to share this journey with you. They can share this journey with anybody else. So to me that
seriously stop, because like I think everybody's defining a friendship, and I think I'm probably like different.
This ain't nothing towards what you saying though.
I'm just saying because I understand you said being friends, you're talking about being friends with your ex or whatever. Like for me, when I say I'm cool with my exes, that don't mean I'm picking up the phone and calling them every day. I want to be friends with them. You know, I just know that I don't harbor any ill feelings towards them. If I were to come in contact with them, it's a hello, good to see you, take care.
No, that's what I'm saying. I feel you. I think all of us feel that. Like what I'm saying is you're not gonna get me calling you during the holidays. I'm not gonna reach out to you on your birthday.
You ain't getting no Christmas text.
Yeah, that's what I'm speaking on. Like once you had that part of me and I invested my time in you, you can't get no more of that. And what I'm saying is if a person show up every day for you, that's a sense of loyalty at the end of the day. Yeah. Rather you say, man, you know what? Fuck loyalty. because granted, let me say this. I think people can miscrew. Like, let me just throw this on the table because this is a level of when we talk about accountability. I done been in relationships where, okay, I might be a little bit more passive because I'm not the type of person that feel the need to argue. I feel like okay, we disagree. So what? We'll get over it. Because if I love you and I fuck with you, that shit don't matter anyway. Because at the end of the day, what I learned from older people and wiser people before me is at the end of the day, none of that shit matters. It's about who shows up when it matters, and are you there to listen when I need you to listen? You know what I mean?
Amen.
So if other than that, I'm asking people like in relationship, what are the fuck you looking for? Because my thing is this: when you take all of that away, you got to ask yourself, what do you really value? Me, I value ear, uh, loyalty. It's just I got my little small list because I feel like anything beyond, you can have all this stuff, but you gotta be realistic with yourself on a human level. Like, man, what can a person meet me at that is not asking for too much? That are my non-negotiables. And sometimes it's just really just communication and conversation. If you start shutting down, now granted, let me get back to what I was saying because I think I've been in situations where I know my past. There's a part of me that, okay, I come from the streets. My daddy was from the South, and he was kind of rough around the edges. I don't feel like I'm rough around the edges, but sometimes when I'm passive and I'm like setting my like, man, this is what it is, it comes off a little bit more alpha, a little bit more strong. But it don't mean that I don't give a fuck or I'm coming off disrespectful. Sometimes it might come off what I said, that this is what it is. And so sometimes people hold you to that, like you being mean. So like, say you get to a point where somebody be like, man, don't talk to me like that. No, I'm just being firm. You don't like that when I'm being firm because I'm being too nice at times. So when I be firm, it don't come off like, it comes off like I'm in my space, like I'm ready to be an asshole, whatever.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, like you can be in a relationship, get into an argument, and like if this person been with you long enough and they say, they know how to get you going. Because obviously, if you say, man, I know you better than you know yourself, well, shit, you know me well enough to know when you fucking with me, you picking an argument, you stirring me up. If you respected me, you would know, like, you know what, you ain't got to walk around eggshells. You can say what you want to say and then just leave it alone. And then it's my choice to listen and learn from that, or we'll come back to that understanding. You can remind me, like, hey, I told you how I felt. But instead, a person pick and throw stones, and to me, that's unhealthy. Because if a person, like I've been in different places in my life where I didn't catch it right away because I was in survival mode and I wasn't hearing all that extra because I felt like as a man it was impeding on my progress. Because some women don't understand, like putting that extra shit on men, it'll throw the focus off. Sometimes you gotta be like, you know what? They can come home every day, bills getting paid, the kids is happy. It could be worse. And not even that. If I'm not adding to his growth, what can I really say? If I'm not adding value, if I'm not watering him and playing a role in him being that person who's adding value to the whole house, I'm destroying this person versus building them up. And I think that's a lot of times. So I say all that to say, I start taking I start eating my own shit and just being like, you know what? Because for a while, even my kid's mother, she kept saying, well, we argue too much. I would always say, man, it takes two to argue. I might be the person be like, man, look, we can't see eye to eye. Let's just stop. But this person be like, nah, you shutting down. It's all this unnecessary. But I always say, if both people are at a certain level, you can't hear each other, just come back to it. It don't have to be, man, we're going back and forth. I think it's important to own your shit and be like, you know what? I just can't. I know myself well enough. Like I'm not in a space to receive this right now. Let's just stop. We'll come back to this, and then boom. But I see a lot of relationships are not doing that. And I was even guilty of being involved with somebody and that was going on. And I had to really own my own shit and be like, you know what? It's time for me to really just be the bigger person. Be like, you know what? I don't have to go back and forth. I know how I feel about it. You know what I mean? And my job is to balance it out, to be like, you know what? Either we're going to grow together, we're going to understand each other through this, we're gonna grow apart, and this should be destroyed and be over with, and then you got to see what it's like without this situation. You know what I mean? But anyway, I know that was a little bit drawn out. I lost a little bit because I think we was.
No, I'm saying, so I posted a video on our group,
Mhm.
and surprisingly enough, it only got like 12 views, and a couple of comments, but it was this Asian couple. It was a husband
The animals.
between his ex-wife and his wife.
Mhm.
Both of them were cold and barefooted. That man took off his shoes
Oh yeah, I seen
and
that.
gave them to his ex-wife. He took off his jacket and gave it to his ex-wife. And he looked at his wife, he picked her up and walked away with her. And so he showed compassion to his ex-wife. Whether they had kids or not, it's irrelevant in the point, because the babies weren't in the video. Okay, so we can't even use that as a reason why this occurred. All we have are these three people, and this man able to be compassionate to a woman that he once shared a bond with, without disrespecting his current wife. And so to me, that man was owning his shit. You know what I mean? And those two women were owning their shit. The woman that he's with now, his wife, she's confident in her relationship with her husband. Although she looked kind of concerned because he was catering and taking care of that ex first. She kind of looked concerned while she was standing there cold, but when it was all said and done, she wrapped her arms around him. There was no hemming and hawing after that. And so I don't know. And leaving relationships it doesn't always have to be bad. And a big part about it is communication.
Mhm.
Oh, the big part of it is communication. And then not only just communicating, but understanding how others communicate. And if you know that you don't have a good pattern of communicating with someone via text,
Mhm.
and they'd rather speak to you verbally, give them that, because don't leave any room for any misinterpretation by text. I hate texting, especially when it's long-winded, because I feel like I'm always misunderstood. So I just be like, fuck it. Yeah.
Fighting over text. I said, yeah, sometimes you fight over text and it means nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
You have two different concepts of what was said.
you're being told something and you're hearing how somebody really feels about you via misunderstanding of a text message rather than, talking to them. So, I mean, I don't know where I went with that, but I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, communication is a big thing. But we have to become more accountable for our actions and our words.
Mhm.
We have the leader of this country, and I hate to even say it like that. We have number 45 showing every person in this country, all over the world, little kids and all, he ain't gotta be accountable for nothing.
But look, let's just say this. I think every president before him felt the same way. I think we just ain't. I respect you being who you are up front versus behind closed doors, you being this other devil. You know what I mean? So like when I hear us speak on this white man, like Donald Trump, let me just say that. Like I look at it totally different because I'm like, shit, I'm from the South. So like my daddy always told me, man, I can respect the redneck if he tell you who he is up front. It's when they behind the doors because you don't know who's gonna snatch your child up. If he gonna say, man, I'll shoot you if you come on my property, I can respect that because I know where you stand at. But if I come on your property, I didn't know this is how you rocking, and then you now put my kids in danger or shot me, I'm gonna feel some type of way. You know what I mean? Because you could at least gave us a warning if this is how you feel, you don't deal with. So I guess I say all that to say, shit, Trump ain't no different than the people before him. The only difference is, he was just honest about how he felt about
Yeah,
shit.
he let you know from the gate who he was.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. I respect that. Matter of fact, we can sit down and have a drink.
I respect that. How can you not respect
You just
that?
don't like it. It's just
Yeah.
wrong.
And respect and like is two different things. Just because you respect something, don't mean you gotta like it. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? just, you know, just, you know,
And
I
that, and that's how I feel about being in relationships too. Like, I'm not gonna like a lot of things, and that's okay. But I'm not gonna put your feet to the fire because I don't like it. This is who you are. This is your journey. You know what I mean? Like, either if it's a non-negotiable, I should have said that shit up front. Or when the shit was going on, I should have just stated, hey, I don't like that. And if it, you know, and this is how I feel about, you know, and just make it clear. But you know, yeah, it's just crazy. Like, man, I think a lot of times, like, man, I think the reason why this is such a hot topic, I think we need to own our shit more. Like, honestly, even though me and my kid's mother, like, we might not be in a relationship, I feel like on a friend level, we got a good friend relationship. But I do feel like even though we can't have what I envisioned at one time, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna make it hard for you. I'm always gonna show you that respect. You know what I mean? And shit, you the mother of my child. Like,
let
I
you
hope
be
you,
who you are.
yeah, I hold you at the highest level. And shit, just because I feel like, man, your viewpoints change, or you might have grew and it might have not been in a way that I thought we should have been growing, I'm not gonna sit here and make your life miserable. I'm not
If
gonna
it
sit
doesn't
here.
affect your child, then just don't worry about it.
Exactly. So, and that's how I deal with people in general. Like, I feel like, man, being consistent overall is important too. Like, just in how you deal with people. You know what I mean? I think it'll help along the lines with the help along the way in the journey is being consistent. Don't be over here dealing with things differently and then come over here and deal with it differently. That's where you get yourself fucked up at. You give me now you try to be two different people versus, like, man, I'm gonna be consistent overall just with people in general. That way you don't lose your way. I think that's important too.
very much so. So my advice to y'all is to, when you dating somebody or anybody, dating, friendship, anything, just like work, during that first 90 days, you must hold those people 100% accountable.
Facts.
You can't give them no slack. And you
Mhm.
know why you can't give them no slack? Because when they take their monkey ass to work, they know that philosophy exists there. They know they on 90-day probation. They know they can't be late. They know they can't fucking take no extra long lunch. They know they can't fucking take no vacation. They know they can't do so many things. So
Right.
don't let them come to the other side of the coin and treat you any different.
Right.
Because all businesses. You know what I'm saying? And if you fucking don't think that, then you don't know your value. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know what I'm saying? Like, that's why the name Ford, Polo, all these names, Trump, that name rings bells. Like, when we speak that man's name, we automatically have a vision. You know what I'm saying? Because he holds his name very, you know what I'm saying, valuable to himself. So we all got to think of ourselves like businesses and make these motherfuckers accountable, not just during the 90 days, but strictly during the 90 days. Because if they can't make it past the 90 days, come on now. We already know what's up. We see it every day in the workplace. Every day. This nigga ain't gonna make it. I already see it. You've been late twice. I already see it.
You're right.
We are patternmatic. So
Yeah.
don't let them keep no patterns within 90 days that they can't keep up. If they can't keep it up for 90 days, it's a very high chance they're not gonna be able to keep it up after that.
Mhm.
A little bit of
Nah, that's big facts right there. And I know sometimes, I know we compare, like, I compare a relationship to business because it is a business at the end of the day. Like, you got to learn how to govern the whole operation, and meaning that y'all got to be on the same chord in order to grow the process. And that's what business looks like at the end of the day. Now, granted, um, you don't have to, like, be so hardcore about it, but you do have to have a standard. You do have to have some type of manual of understanding, like, man, this is what pays me, and that's what that conversation is about when y'all going through the process. But man, at the end of the day, like, well, I just leave it alone. I won't over talk. I just say, man, it is like a business, and sometimes people don't realize, like, man, you invest in your time and your efforts into that person or that situation.
Well, I'll sum it up for you. Relationships, if you want to compare it to businesses, you got to think about it. A business has what they call a handbook. That handbook tells you everything about that company, does it not? It tells you their how they was formed. It tells you the expectations that they have for you when they bring you on board. It tells you all the little perks that they gonna give you, which means you're gonna get some dental, you're gonna get some medical, you're gonna get some paid time off. But I'm serious though, y'all think about it, when you got a handbook, that's what you hold them accountable to, and that's what they hold you accountable to. So in other words, when you look at relationships, you should have a handbook. That handbook should explain to the next individual when you meet them and you start getting to know them in them 90 days, this is my handbook. This is the things, my code of conduct. This is the stuff that I'm gonna need you when you finish reading this book and you see all the things that entails, and this is what I'm gonna pay you. This is, your hours you gonna work and XYZ. These are the things that I expect for you to do in order for you to come in here and earn this paycheck. So therefore, I need you to sign and dot a line at the end of this damn book, and I'm gonna put it away in your employee file. And I shouldn't have to pull it back out, but every once in a while I might have to, just to highlight some little things that you might be doing a little wrong. Because every once in a while we all got to go and have that little conversation with HR person. The first time it's gonna be an oral write-up. The next go round is gonna be your first written write-up. Then after that, what happens? You get a second opportunity, which is your written write-up. By the time you make it that third, your ass is out the motherfucking damn door. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So you have to look at relationships in the same manner. You got to invest. You got to come in there and put some work in order to get that damn paycheck at the end of the week or however you get paid. It's the same thing. You got to put some work in order to get something back out of that relationship. If one party don't want to come to work today and do no damn work, because I was notorious. I'll tell you right quick, fast, and damn hurt when I was working at the plantation. I come in that motherfucker, I look at them and be like, I don't feel like doing no damn work today. And I didn't. So therefore, they already knew. They already knew. They look around when to be somewhere talking. I wasn't about to do a whole bunch of damn work that damn day. I just wouldn't. And then there was some days that I might come in and do a little extra because I knew I was slacking the day before. Or I knew when them motherfuckers was like, you know what, we tired of you winning. We getting ready to start getting on your ass because you ain't won't do no damn work. So I straighten up and do a little work for a while, get them off my back. And then I go back and have one of my moments where I stay in the bathroom for 15, 20 damn minutes because I didn't feel like damn doing no work. You feel what I'm saying? And relationships is the same damn way. We get slack as hell. We'll be tired. We'll go to the bathroom, sit in there and fall asleep and shit. I mean, one time I was in the damn bathroom so long, I knew the fuck I was when I was playing on Facebook. One motherfucker's gonna bust up in there, call my name. I said, what the fuck you want? Tell me, what is you doing in the bathroom? I said, can't a woman have a conversation with God? I said, damn, I was praying.
Oh my goodness, y'all. It has been one hell of a night. Thank you all for stopping through. Andrea, I appreciate your presence. Miss Wendy, of course, always.
Thank you, sweetheart.
To have you around. And Omar, very nice to finally meet you, sir. Grandma, every morning. Nikki, I don't know, you went AWOL. I don't know if you're still here or not. Good night. Keys.
Yes, good night, y'all.
Yeah.
I gotta get my butt up and go to work in the morning.
That's what it is. We all got to do that thing, get our government money. But
yeah.
I've been asleep since 10 o'clock last night, so
you're gonna go get some sleep, Miss Andrea. You need to go ahead and let your body rest and recharge. And you all, thank you so much. Please join us on our Facebook group page, The Conscious Corner. We also have our email address, Conscious Corner at gmail.com. You can hit us up with any comments, suggestions. We even had a complaint before, so if y'all want to act like this is a business, go ahead and throw in a complaint in there. I don't give a fuck. I don't know who answers it. I think that's his thing. But anyways, yeah, if you want to discuss personal matters, jump in that Gmail, or you can hit us up on Facebook. We're cool with all that. Thank you again for another good evening, Miss Andrea.
have a good night.
You have a good night. Blessings to you all. Thank you again.
Blessings, everybody.
Peace.
Yeah, have a good one. Thank you.
See you. Love. Another good one. Good night, y'all. We'll see you on another edition of The Conscious Corner.